well versed.
Okay,
Tuxie's
we're going live. Hello.
We are live.
We are live.
Sorry.
Hello. It's okay. Right. So, welcome everyone to the first Candela Obscura by Rollful. I, Milky, will be your GM for this run. And I'd like to introduce chat to our players. We have some familiar faces and some not. So let's start with who we know. We have the Dockmaster from our main campaign, Fin of a Shark. We have our faithful Captain Arl. And of course our resident Druid, Monkey Mal. As for the newcomers to Rollforth, we have the lovely Kayla Taylor. This is her first time being on stream, so welcome to Twitch. And also coming live from the US, we have the fantastic Tutuxi. And last but no means least, we have the very delectable Duke Whiskey. So now, before we get into things, would like to point out that the Candela Obscura, for those who don't know, is a horror tabletop RPG. This means there'll be descriptions of horrible things, including things such as monsters, body horror, and paranormal activity. There's a disclaimer in the chat for anyone joining. We've had our session 0, and I know what the players are comfortable with. However, as viewers, this might not be your cup of tea. So please, if you feel uncomfortable, and it doesn't sound like your type of game, please take your leave. We won't hold it against you. Lastly to mention, this game is a work of fiction, while the story is set in a version of the real world in 1953, and will include both religious and historical figures or events. It is purely fictional. Any resemblance to actual persons, living, dead, events, or locations is entirely coincidental. This game is intended for entertainment purposes only. Although, I do encourage you to do your research in the historical mentions if you are so inclined. So with that, unless any of the virtual table has anything else to add? No? I guess it's time to roll forth. Okay. Welcome back. Here we go. Duke, from now on I'm going to refer to you as Walter. We're starting the session with you. Okay. There's a ringing in your ears as you open your eyes. As you adjust to the light, you look around and notice you're on a battlefield, in the war. You're on your own in no man's land. You look around. Everything seems slow. The sky has a strange, weird bubbling orange hues. Your attention is taken away as you hear mortars firing in the distance. What would you like to do?
I'd like to dive to cover. Those mortars overhead sound dangerous. I need to get to cover, get low to the ground as soon as possible.
Okay. So, can you make me a move roll, please?
Okay, I have a move of 2, so I will roll level game master.
Yep, hang on a sec. We've got the wrong player image up. Let's see if I can fix that. There we go. There's you.
So 2 dice on my end.
2 dice, yep.
A 5 and a 1.
5 and a 1. Okay, so which one are you? I'm assuming you're going to take the 5, the mixed success?
I will take the 5.
Okay. So that's a mixed success. You make your way through no man's land and you look for a slightly lower crater that's been made from mortars before. As the mortars hit around you, you're hit with what you expect to be debris, but it's warm. As you land in the trench, you realize that your body is completely covered in blood. You look around you in this part, and you just see death, bodies lying all around you. All but one. There seems to be someone stood on the horizon with their back to you, a tattered cloak waving in the wind. What do you do?
With my back up against sort of like where the crater is in the mortar,
Mm-hmm.
I get my my firearm. I'm holding my firearm steady and sort of staring at them in the distance, keeping a watchful eye
Mm-hmm.
for sort of popping up over it and just holding them down the line of sight and just yelling across to them there. Whose side are you on? Whose side are you on?
As you say that, the cloak bellows in the wind, and you notice a red cross. Most likely English. But they don't seem to say anything to you. But your yelling does something else. The bodies around you begin to wake. What do you want to do?
Okay, I think very quickly we're going to have to scramble. I'm going to scramble out of the crater,
Mm-hmm.
scramble out as quick as I can, still keep myself low, keep myself close to the ground to watch out for any overhead mortars or machine gun fire, and just sort of run towards them to try and grab at them and continue in a way that feels safest.
Sure thing. Can you roll me another move, please?
Okay, I roll my 2 dice again.
Yep.
I get another 5 and a 1.
Another 5 and 1. Okay.
I'll take the 5.
So, you run towards this figure. As you do, you get your footing and you try and run out of this crater. These people that you presume were dead are rising and coming after you. One of them manages to grab your leg, but you manage to also shake free, which means you go unscathed with this. But as you make your way up to the person, you kind of reach out to them, and as you touch their shoulder, they turn to you, and it's a huge shock that, like a flash in your face, is of a silver skull. You wake up in your bed in a cold sweat. This nightmare was different, more vivid than the ones before. Yeah. What'd you do?
I think first thing I need to do is get out of bed and go straight to the bathroom, get some cold water, run some cold water and just splash it over my face, try and inspect what I look like in the mirror, work out what day of the week it is. Everything feels very confusing after that.
Okay. So, as you kind of splash your face and you clear your head, you hear your alarm going off in the bedroom. You've woken up slightly early, but not early enough. You remembered that today is March 13th and you had a letter last night to go to the palace. So with that, we are going to time skip a little bit. It's now 9:52 a.m. and Walter, you're an MI5 agent. You're ready to take on the day, but you're on the upper deck of a London bus, still trying to forget that nightmare from this morning. Things that's stopping you to forget it is you're sat with a broken window next to you. The rain from outside is splattering on your face that reminds you of the blood. Your day went from bad to worse. You had your nightmare, but then once you got ready, you realised that you hadn't got any food in for your breakfast, so you grabbed an apple on your way out, and you got to your car and it wouldn't start. So now you're sat on a bus And you remember the apple, and you just go put your hand in the pocket, and you realise there's a hole in your pocket, and the apple is gone. If you didn't know any better, all this bad luck this morning is some kind of omen. A quiet, persistent warning of worse to come. Luckily, your other pocket with your assignment is undamaged. Would you like to read your assignment from MI5?
Yes. Yes. That would be this one?
Not that one. That's the one.
This one. Dear Walter Hessington Jr., you are hereby assigned to investigate a situation at Buckingham Palace. In light of His Majesty's passing, the palace remains on edge, striving to maintain composure under intense public scrutiny. As such, it is imperative that your actions remain discreet to avoid any unwanted attention from the press. The nature of this disturbance is ambiguous. Those present at the scene have been unable to provide a coherent account of what transpired. Your objective is as follows. 1. Conduct a thorough investigation of the reported incident. 2. Document the scene, including capturing photographs of the incident. And 3. Return promptly to HQ and deliver your findings in a detailed report. Remember, subtlety is paramount. Proceed with caution and ensure that the reputation of the palace remains unblemished throughout your inquiry. Yours in service, Roosevelt Daring, Social Security Service Dispatch.
Okay. As you finish reading that, your bus comes to a stop just outside Buckingham Palace. What do you wish to do?
Letter. Safely going back into a old top pocket here. Pocket without a hole.
Yeah.
Okay, making sure it's going definitely into the pocket without a hole. I've had enough. I've had enough of this bad luck. Bad luck doesn't exist to me. It's fine. You know, this is just a whole series of just unfortunate events and not an omen, not a sign. It's fine. My name is Walter Hessington Jr. Walter Hessington Sr. wouldn't have had this problem. So, I'm getting my jacket. I'm marching off the bus. I'm saying cheers, drive, as I'm getting off, because, you know, that's
Thank
the
you,
correct
driver.
thing to do to every bus driver. Thank you, driver.
As you step off the bus, the heavens open. You also forgot your umbrella.
It's fine. This coat is made of good wool. It'll keep me nice and dry and warm on the inside. The hair, that is a little damp has never killed anyone.
So you're heading into the palace?
I'm going straight towards the palace.
Okay.
Our mission.
So you walk up to the palace gate. There's a guard on duty. Alright, sir.
Hello. I'm here on a special assignment by MI5.
He pokes his head out his little hut and takes a look at your letter. You got any credentials on you other than the letter, sir?
Yes, of course. And reaching not into the bad side, I'm going to this pocket down here, and I'm pulling out whatever would constitute a pass.
Okay. I'm assuming you've got your MI5 badge or something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. He's like, okay, go on through, and he opens the gate for you. And you kind of have like a beeline to a foyer. So as you kind of get to the foyer, you kind of step on inside the palace. There is a gentleman at kind of the front desk, and he kind of looks you up and down as you walk in, a bit of a drowned rat. Can you, for everyone here, describe Walter Hessington Jr., what he looks like, but obviously in a little bit of the state that he is at the moment?
Yes. So Walter Hessington Jr. Did you want a little bit of his background as well?
Just what he's like and maybe his occupation and such.
Yes. So Walter Hessington Jr. is So I'm just very quickly finding my sentence. He's a 47-year-old World War One and World War II veteran who's now currently serving with MI5. He was a soldier before and was in the UK. He was in the UK Army before. His name's Walter Hessington Jr. He is the son of Walter Hessington Sr., obviously. He's got short, dark brown hair, kind of reddish hair, a square jaw and quite full lips, with ears just tucking slightly back. Very, in terms of his personality, very much part of the old aristocracy. Walter Hessington Sr. was reasonably well-to-do. He was reasonably well-to-do. He served as an officer during World War II after running away as a child in World War One, and served as a police officer after that.
Okay. So here he stands, a little bit bedraggled, and the clerk kind of looks at you and is like, kind of looking at you and looking at the mess of the water dripping off you onto the floor, and he's like, and you are...
Walter Hessington Jr., MI5, here to investigate the strange activities. I know I've arrived sodden, but sodden doesn't prevent me from uncovering what may have happened here in this peculiar hour.
Oh, yes, you're here for the incident. They won't tell me anything, you know. Probably just someone running off with the silverware again. Let me call the handmaiden from that wing. And he goes to the back and rings one of the many bells on the walls. And he kind of goes, I would offer you a seat, but they've just been reupholstered.
It's okay, I've done many evenings and many nights in the trenches. I stood on 2 feet. 2 feet haven't failed me today. And by God, they won't fail me, I hoped, for the rest of the day.
Good.
Quietly, privately touching something wood so that his legs do not end up like the pocket of which once an apple was in.
Nice. Okay. So a few minutes pass, there's kind of an awkward silence between the two of you. And eventually this young girl dressed in maid's attire goes, you called Mr. Watson, sir? He's like, yes, the agent to see the incident? And she's like, yes, sir. Hello, sir. Mr.
Hessington.
Mr. Hessington. Yes, this way, sir. You can see she's kind of like holding her arm like up here, a bit nervous, looks a bit frightened as she kind of walks with you.
Is it possible to, en route, attempt a sway roll to kind of like just pry into how things have been the last couple of days?
Yes, certainly. Go for it.
I have a sway of 1 singular dice.
Oh, nice. You could add some drive to that if you wanted.
I shall add 1 drive, which means I take a gilded die.
Not gilded die, just a second
No,
dice.
sorry.
Yeah.
Just a second dice.
Yep.
Okay. Like a normal dice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put a 1 onto my sheet.
Yep.
Or rather, I fill out 1 little box. And then I get to now roll 2 because I'm putting a drive into it.
Mm-hmm.
I get a 4 and a 6. I will
Okay.
quite happily take the 6, please.
Take the 6. So, you seem to settle in with your demeanour with her because she seems nervous, and just your presence at the moment seems to be calming. What do you ask her?
How has things been around the palace the last couple of days? I'm here to help out the royal family, and I'm curious how everyone's been doing recently.
Well, it's all been a bit of mayhem since everything happened yesterday. It's I mean, I have seen it myself, but I really can't describe it. It was a friend of mine, a Miss Cooper. She's no longer with us. And yes, as you notice that she's constantly holding her arm and kind of itching it as she's going, and she's just like, I'm sorry. I wish there's more I could tell you. But it's the palace has been a bit on high alert when they had this incident. I mean, I wanted to call it in. I wanted to get the police here immediately, but they said no. Everything's been a bit crazy since the king's death, and they don't want the press. You see, the queen is going to be coronated in a few months. So yes, we just try and keep things as quiet as possible. I really hope there's something you can do.
I'll see. I'll put everything I can into this to help you. Thank you for sharing. And just trying to check this. I'm gonna try and do a read as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So that would be to interpret her body language, which I also have a 1 in.
Yeah.
This time I'm not going to put a drive into it, so I will roll a singular dice.
Okay. This will be low stakes because you're only looking at her. You're not going to get harmed, so it's fine.
It's a 3.
3, okay. So, apart from her being quite a nervous wreck and constantly holding her arm, there's not much more you can kind of glean from it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you kind of make your way to down a corridor, and there's a set of double wooden doors where she goes. She kind of stops herself just beforehand, and she's like, "I beg you, if I don't enter with you, sir, I don't want to see that again."
Okay. Don't you worry about it. Thank you very much for bringing me here, and I hope the rest of the shift or the rest of the day goes more smooth than it has done the last couple.
Yes, thank you, sir. And she goes, "Oh, before you go in, sir," and she pulls out a clean handkerchief and hands it to you. "You may want to cover your mouth, sir."
Okay. I take the handkerchief from her and I don't need such a thing. It's going into the pocket with a hole in it.
Nice.
I don't need such a thing. Come on.
Okay. She kind of stands to the side of the door so she can't go in, but she unlocks it and opens the door for you.
Mm-hmm.
Only slightly, and kind of you slide into the room. So as you enter, this is one of the many drawing rooms of the palace. Very high ceilings, oil paintings in golden frames on the walls, very old but expensive furniture, red patterned carpets, large velvet curtains drawn over a huge window. But that's not what catches your eye at first. Hang on, I want music, I want creepy music. The room itself is filled with flies. Flies everywhere, crawling on all surfaces, and also buzzing about. The furniture, which I mentioned earlier, is actually everywhere all over the room. There's a bookcase on its side, near the centre of the room. Chairs scattered, paintings torn. And there, between the flies, you can kind of make out weird red markings on the walls. What do you want to do?
I think I'll start by just taking a good inhale, I think, to really get a bearing of where I am.
I'm going to need a roll for that. I'm not sure. Do a control roll. Try and control your breathing for me.
Okay. I have a 2 in control. So I'm actually going to put a drive into it because I would quite like the 3rd dice.
Yeah. This, I'm going to say, considering what you're slightly jokingly about to try and do, is going to be a high stakes.
Yeah, we have a good old 3. I threw one off the table. Okay. 6, 5, and 4.
Oh, okay, good. You got a 6. You taking that 6?
Yes, please.
Okay, you managed to breathe in and not inhale any flies, even though they are quite literally everywhere. I don't know why the flies sound effect has stopped. Hang on. Let's turn that back on. There we go. They are everywhere. Yes, you managed to make deep breath around these flies.
Okay. And I'm inhaling quite a foul odor.
So with your 6, I would say yes, the room seems incredibly stuffy. The curtains are drawn. It is quite not dark in here. Like from the edges of the curtains, the grey overcast and the rain outside is coming in, making it quite dull. But yeah, it feels very stuffy. This room has been shut up for a while, and there's just there's a metallic taste in the air.
I think I'm going to start with a survey roll again to sort of take a couple of steps in and just scan my eye across, just to see what I can see around.
Sure thing. I will say, as you step into the room and take a few steps, you hear a crunch under your feet as you step on some flies, as they are crawling everywhere.
It's fine. It's just like being back in France. I will once again use another drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I've used one of my 2 in intuition and one of my 2 in cunning.
Okay.
And I will roll 2 dice. I get a 5 and a 5. These dice are nice.
Nice.
Just gonna put that out there. I really like these dice.
Okay, so you do a bit of a survey of the room. I will mention, I haven't mentioned yet, you do have your camera on you. Do you want to take some pictures at the same time or not?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So with your 5, you kind of go around the room and you notice there are symbols on the walls. Between the flies, as you kind of wave them away, you take a couple of photos of some kind of red cross, some kind of writing, which you can't quite make out in the dim light, but as your flash goes off, you're pretty sure with your 5 that you've caught that on camera. And weirdly looks a bit like a pirate skull and bones. Not sure, but something similar to that. And I will say with your 5 as well, with your survey, you then kind of notice, as you've kind of gone over to those things, you've wandered around the bookcase that's on its side, and there is a lamp on the floor that has been knocked over and it's flickering. And it's kind of at this point, from this angle, you notice that there's a big shadow on the wall, and as your eyes kind of focus down, there seems to be a body with a lot of flies on it.
Okay, I think. Assume I was allowed to keep a firearm on me.
Yeah, you can have up to 3 items, so yes.
Pulling out the firearm instantly is just a nice standard revolver type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out very quickly and just sort of aim it directly at the body and flies, and just stare it directly at what one presumes to be a face, and just ask, "Who are you? Who are you?"
Okay. So when I say a body, this body is not stood. It is laying down, but 2 feet
Okay.
off the ground.
Okay.
And these flies, as you kind of hold your gun and walk closer to it, it looks like the flies are coming from the body. Out the mouth, out the ears, out the nose.
Okay. I think I need to continue approaching it. See if I can just try and just try and touch it.
Okay.
Try and understand what am I dealing with here.
As you're going to inspect the body, roll me a focus roll, please.
Okay. My focus is a 0, so I get to roll 1 dice automatically.
No, 0
Nope.
is 2 dice, and you have to take the lowest result.
2 dice to take the lowest result. A 4.
4.
It was a 6 and a 4.
So you touch the body, and as you do, it drops to the floor. It seems to have lost its levitation for this moment. And the flies are still coming. But, I also... What's bleed feel like to Walter?
Bleed.
Bleed. So bleed, in Candela, is a mystical effect, and it affects everyone differently. It's not good. You're going to take a bleed mark.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how bleed affects Walter.
I think for him, it reminds him back of that nightmare he saw. It's almost his nightmare comes back alive. It's that flash of feeling blood across his face. It's that flash of hearing mortars landing, something crashing down. It's the seeing comrades and friends rising up from the ground again. It's that mental image, or just that feeling of like blood splattering on him.
Okay. So you get this kind of flash in your head for the moment. What else would you like to do?
I think reaching into another pocket, one that isn't broken, so good old one on this side. I'm gonna try and pull out what I presume to be sort of like holy water,
Okay.
to try and throw something on it that might disperse what presumably may be an evil spirit. Walter's, for the first time, seeing something like this. This isn't a normal everyday occurrence. He's an MI5, not some spook squad. So he takes out the holy water and just sort of throws it towards the fly creature.
Okay. You find that the flies don't seem to like it. It seems to leave an area of the body a bit more clear from the flies. It's at this point you notice that they're wearing a similar gear to the young lady that let you in. It's some kind of maid outfit. You couldn't make that out because she was crawling with flies before, but now you can.
This is reminding me of I thought I typed that as a note, and clearly I didn't. That's the handmaiden mentioned that there was another person who had recently died, who had disappeared, who had gone missing. So having thrown the holy water out towards this body and managed to see a bit more of it, I'm going to try and take a couple of photographs which I might be able to take away, that I can try and use to later potentially do something about.
Sure thing. Okay. So you pull out your camera and you get her in full view. And at this point, you take your first photo. And there's a flash. And then you pull your camera away, and as you pull your camera away from your eyes, so you go from the viewfinder out, the room is much brighter. The flies are gone. The furniture is back where it should be. Everything is back to normal.
Again, I take that another sort of deep inhale to sort of rebalance myself. Like, where am I? Can I try and center myself, focus on where I am?
Yeah.
Looking around confused.
So you're looking around confused. You are in the palace. You are in this drawing room. You are exactly where you were 5 minutes ago, it's 2 seconds ago, in fact. And it's almost like nothing had happened here. At this point, as you're trying to pull yourself together, a young girl runs in. It's the same girl that brought you here. Excuse me, sir. No photography at the palace without permission, sir. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Okay, confused as anything, sort of like brow fully furrowed and just... Yes. Sorry about that. Sorry. I just got very excited and sort of like put my camera down to my pockets and prepare myself to go along willingly with her.
Okay. She's just like, how did you even get in here, sir?
I was following the signs and I seem to have got lost from my group. I was part of a tour group trying to convince her. I was part of a tour group and we ended up turning left, and I guess I must have just got left behind. I'm awfully sorry.
I'm not aware of any tours going on today. You'll have to go back to the clerk at the front desk and make sure you're signed in properly, sir, if you want to be here today. And she'll be like, follow me, please, come quick.
Yes, of course. And I go willingly along with her.
Okay. So she takes you the same route that you came. Everything else seems pretty normal. And you get to the front desk, and she's like, Mr. Walter, found this gentleman wandering around. He says he was part of a tour group. Was there any tours today? And he's like, I'm not aware of any tours. Who are you?
I'm Mr. Hessington. We were part of a sort of a tour group that was coming around, and maybe they forgot to mention it to you, and instead I just ended up turning a left, and they've turned a right, and here I am. I'm really awfully sorry. I'll see if I can find them, or if one of you wants to escort me to see if I can find them.
Well, I'm pretty sure there is nothing on there. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I mean, it's not the sort of thing that we have going on at the moment, especially since the king's death. But hesitant, you say?
The king's death?
Yes, the king died a couple of months ago. Are you not aware?
A couple of months ago? Yes. I'm sorry. We should go. Yes, sorry.
Oh, 1 moment, sir. You say your name is Mr. Hessington, sir?
Yes, Walter Hessington.
This came for you, sir. And he hands you a small business card that has the Candela logo on. You don't recognize this, but that's what it is. And yeah, you get this card, and it's got a time and a date on it. The date is today, and the time is much later this evening, around about 7:30.
Okay. I take the letter from them. I'm not going to open it in front of them, but I sort of take it in. How long have you had this letter for?
I don't remember. I just remember seeing the name at my desk. Someone must have dropped it by. It's not a letter. It's just a business card. This one.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And sort of like look at it twice, really quite perplexed as to why someone would do such a thing. But thank you. I'll keep it away, and it goes into this inner pocket.
Nice. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to go to the other players. Everyone is going to have had some contact with Candela for this same time and date to meet. I'm going to go around the players one by one. Evelyn, we're going to start with you. What is Evelyn up to when she receives her note?
So Evelyn is in her study, going through all her papers for her latest freelance story. She's trying to find something that's going to get the next paycheck in to pay her rent. No story's kind of picking up right now, and Candela's been a bit slow, so she's kind of very bored looking through her papers when the boy comes in with the message for summons from Candela that she's a little bit too excited about it, to be honest. So she starts frantically kind of getting her bag together and dressing to leave the house, but she's very excited to actually have something worthwhile to do rather than writing stories about cats up trees.
Lovely. Okay. Leonard, what are you up to?
Leonard is in the mortuary at the back of the Hawthorne and Hale funeral directors that he owns. In front of him, upon a rolling table, is a coffin of a simple design, open with a cadaver inside, female in her 60s, a peaceful look on her face. She is clothed, but her jacket and blouse are open, Leonard having been bringing colour back to her chest and neck. His business partner, Arnold Hale, enters and presents the letter to Leonard. They converse briefly about clients, and then Arnold is dismissed for the day. Leonard approaches the desk that the letter was placed upon, and noticing the insignia, his expression sours a little, and he slaps the letter back down on the desk. He returns to the woman, taking out another set of brushes, and begins work on her face. He continues this work for another 30 minutes or so, finishing by placing 2 pearl earrings in her ears and a latched pendant around her neck. He checks his work one more time, then wheels her over to the side of the room, tidies up his equipment, and finally returns to the desk to collect the letter. He opens it, reads it, takes a mental note of the important information, then tears it and the envelope several times and drops it in the waste bin. He collects his jacket from the desk chair, then returns to the front of house for his coat and hat, locks the shop, and heads off into the night.
Colin, what's Colin up to?
Colin has just gotten back home to his dingy apartment down a really dark alley. He has just gotten home after completing another mission and killing another target. During this mission, he ended up getting injured in his hand, so he's stitching his hand up, but nicks a vein, and it starts bleeding profusely. So he runs into the bathroom to staunch the bleeding, and as he's in there, he hears a slammed door. He runs out the bathroom, looking around his small little apartment, dingy and gross, and blood dripped everywhere, and sees a little letter on the table he was just using to sew up his wrist, and sees the note.
Okay. Cece, what are you up to?
So you see a small open plan flat. There's this steady drip of a leaking faucet, and in one corner you can see this single iron framed bed that is, the covers on it are immaculately made. It's pulled flat and it's covered with this olive green wool blanket that's edged completely perfectly aligned to the walls, and it's all wrapped up and pinned down. You can see a dark wood dresser that has these neat rows of books and flora and history, and a simple wooden framed photo which shows neat rows of military women all standing to attention in front of an old building. And then turns round and you can see that kind of hidden from the door, where obviously the bathroom is, slightly round a corner, there is just this desk that is covered in chaos of all these bits and pieces and screws, tools, weapons, springs, all sorts of things. And the wall is just covered in newspaper clippings on a pinboard, on all sorts of different things. And Cece leans over and is working on something when there's a knock at the door. And then she straightens herself out, walks up to the door and opens it. And there's a small boy there outside. And she moves to block the boy's line of sight to the door, like through to that corner. So all he can see is the very, very neat, clear apartment. And they talk for a little bit. She asks him how his auntie is. And he starts to pry, and then she's like, oh, I really must go. Closes the door, opens the letter, reads it, puts the letter down on the dresser, and then goes over to the tap and turns off the drip, and then leaves her apartment.
Okay. We're going to leave the widow for a moment and go back to you, Walter. We're going to time skip to later that evening. You're at King's Cross Station. It's not particularly busy at this hour. Most people have done with their commute. But platform 13. You've asked around a few times. There's only 11 platforms here. Why would there be a platform 13 if there's no platform 12? However, your search is about to end when you notice a woman within a little bit of a crowd on the street holding a doll, and on the doll is a pin with a similar insignia to that of your card. As you kind of look down to the card to kind of just compare, you look back up and she's gone. Looking around, you then notice the back of her dress, going down an alley. What do you wish to do?
I think hands in pockets, just to keep the coat a little bit clutched close to me. I'm going to pursue them at some distance, sort of go in that direction, not to run after them, not to chase after them, but just briskly walk.
Okay. So as you briskly walk and get over to that area, I assume at one point you kind of poke your head down to see if you can see where she went. You can't see her anymore, but you do see a very rusty sign that says platform 13 nested against the wall of this alleyway.
Taking the business cards now out of my pocket, holding it in one hand tightly, keeping it held very tightly in case an ill-omened wind appears. I'm going to go towards platform 13. No questions asked, no double checking, no looking around. Headstrong in it straight to platform 13, where I'm supposed to be.
Okay. So as you kind of make your way down the alley, you go past the sign that seems to have come off from one of the big metal fences that is just ahead of you. You notice that all this fence is very much around a set of stairs, very much like a standard London metro, where you get the stairs that go down. But they seem to be chained up and rusted and not really used. However, on inspection, those chains are there, but they've been unlocked, and the gate is slightly open.
I think leaning business card now going back into inner pocket. We're going to sort of lean slightly back so I can keep my left hand sort of near said MI5 issue to firearm.
Yep.
And sort of put a hand onto the gate and just push onto it. See if I can slowly, quietly creak it open and just tiptoe a few steps into this area.
So it does a creakily open, very loud sort of metal on concrete sound as it opens. And you end up taking a few steps down. And initially it seems dark, but as you kind of take more steps, you can see a light off into the distance.
I think still same sort of wariness. This was a strange woman that I saw in this direction. It's a strange business card. And earlier today, I was several months ago. What am I doing here now? So I think I'm gonna still quietly and try and approach where the light is, staying light on my toes.
Okay. So you make your way down, and as you kind of come towards this light, it seems your very basic London metro. Not used at all. There's no signs on the walls or anything, but it does have that usual white tile all the way around on the floor and on the ceiling and everywhere as you kind of go down. And it seems to wind for a while as you make your way slowly through this labyrinth. And at one point, the tiling stops being white and seems to be an odd orange hue. And then it continues. It continues for probably about 10, 15 more feet. And then you come to a big wooden door. In the door is this Candela logo with a brass knob in the center of it.
Business cards coming back out.
Mhm.
You know, we're taking this business card back out. We're looking at it. We're inspecting it.
Okay, so this
Flipping it on over.
So this business card, to explain it, is black with the white Candela Obscura logo that's on screen helpfully right now in the center, but it doesn't say anything else apart from on the back is white, and that's where the handwritten was the time and date, for the place and date. So yeah, what do you wish to do?
One business card in one hand. This explains why I'm here.
Mhm.
Other hand is sort of taking a hold of this brass knocker,
Yeah.
and we're just going to give it the traditional dun 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 dun.
Okay, so as you kind of go to knock the first time, immediately as you do, you feel a strange, almost electrical sensation from the card in one hand flow through you to the knocker, and the door slowly swings open. You also
Okay.
notice that the card is now pure white and the logo is black.
Okay, I think we're going to put. Still going back, you know, we're keeping this hand ready. We're keeping this hand ready for if something jumps out on me. I'm primed.
Okay.
So I'm putting my right foot onto the door, and I'm sort of using my right foot to open it.
Yeah.
So I've still got my balance.
So as you open the door, almost ahead of you is like a wall, but then you notice to the left there is a stairwell coming down into a room full of light. As you kind of start making your way very cautiously down the step, you hear voices. There are 4 figures sat around the table, and another figure dressed in pure white is stood talking to them. And you overhear, I'm telling you, I don't know how you all got a letter from me. I did not set this meeting up. I don't understand. And this is to the other 4 of you here at the moment.
So in terms of Walter, he's going to stay back. You know, he's just going to, as subtly as he has been probably banging on doors and kicking things open, being primed and ready to pull a firearm out on these people.
Yep.
He's going to sort of try and hide and just try and listen in to these 4, what they're discussing.
Mm-hmm. So,
This is your signature, is it not?
it is. I agree. I have no recollection of setting this up. There must have been something going on. Got any ideas?
That this is a giant waste of my time.
Waste of mine as well. And at this point, she looks up. And she looks to all of you, quite startled. Who are you? Just gesturing to Walter. How did you get in here?
And that's where Walter sort of thought he was kind of subtle, you know, sort of leaning against a wall, trying to listen on in, but clearly the light is casting a shadow down, which, you know, he might be an MI5, but he's not exactly in it for the sleight of hand, revealing the shadow as he's sort of, you know, coming around and pulling out the business card and sort of showing it with, you know, one hand is no longer on the firearm. There are 4 of them, and 5 of them.
As Walter pulls his hand out to get the business card, you see Cece very subtly shift sideways and just put her hand to her side.
Colin also shifts to the side, putting his hand on his knife within his coat.
someone who got another mysterious letter, do join us. We seem to be trying to solve the issue here. What was your name?
I'm Walter Hessington Jr. I had a letter here and this card, and I was following a woman dressed in all black carrying a doll who had the same badge as you lots.
Yes,
the same thing here.
There's lots of weird things here. Just come join the table. We'll try and figure this out together. I don't think we're going to get through this very quickly, so pull up a chair, get comfortable.
So, as you explained this woman in black with a doll, the woman in white looks extremely scared. I would never invite her. And at this point, just behind Walter, comes, if I can find my screen, the woman in black.
So I imagine I'm walking down some stairs, and you do see just completely dressed in black veil, but a lovely little doll, and the most childish voice comes out of her that echoes in this room, and she says, "Hello. Well, a new friend is here. You seem to have invited us all. But why?"
That's what I'm trying to figure out. And as you walk down the stairs, everyone notices that the woman in white is also on the other side of the table, keeping her distance. Walter, something you mentioned earlier, which wouldn't be true in this room, is there are no shadows in this room. The lighting in here is very specific, very similar to that of a surgeon's light, that it doesn't make any shadows.
Thank you. Interesting.
So yeah, she's just like, well, I know all of you by you, sir. What happened? She's talking to you, Walter.
I was, and this is where Walter's just trying to recollect really where he's been. I was in Buckingham Palace. I was investigating and he's going back through his pockets again, and he's pulling out this time he's pulling out in the pockets. He finds it. He finds it. I was sent by MI5 to investigate.
Walter, I will say that letter doesn't exist anymore.
And he sort of just pulls it out and goes, what?
Forget something, mate.
I was investigating the king's death in Buckingham Palace several months ago, and there was a body floating. It was levitating and covered in flies, and there was blood on the walls, and there was a cross in blood. And the handmaiden, this lovely woman, but she had this strange itch on her arm. And she just kept scratching it, and I took a photograph of the body, and again, going back to pockets to check for camera.
Camera is there.
He pulls out the camera, and so he just goes, not like the apple. And sort of gets the camera and goes, I took a photo of the body, and there was this bright white light. He's just looking from face to face in the room just to see how everyone's reacting to him. And months passed. Months.
I will say it's not months, it's the same day. Sorry if that's confused. It was the same day. It wasn't the king's death you were investigating. It was an instant you were investigating. It's the same day.
Same day. So he's just there, and he's just like, but that's how it came to be. I went down to the desk, and they gave me a business card with this logo, and he turns the business card over and says, sort of shows it with the time and the date, and so I followed.
That's my handwriting, all right. And I do remember finding myself lost near the palace earlier today. This is strange. You say you took a photo and everything went back to normal?
They went so normal that they thought that I'd broken in, that I was a common riffraff. I was just some sort of person that would break into places, one of those low-life individuals.
Are you still bedraggled?
No, he didn't get wet.
Another question as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know the king's dead?
Yes, that's normal thing. This is March 13th, so it's 2 months after the king's death. Everyone would know that.
Oh, okay, so the king died 2 months ago.
Yeah, the king died in January,
Right.
yes.
Well, this certainly sounds like our domain. Even if it wasn't you who summoned us, Vesper.
Well, it may have been if what this gentleman is saying. It sounds like it's a dimensional change.
At
A
the
dimensional
palace?
what?
Oh, you know what that is.
Well, they were there one moment and not the next, and everything, including our memories, have shifted.
Tell me, Vesper, what do you remember of earlier today, then? If you can't remember sending us these notes, and Walter here seems to have messed something up at the palace, but you feel like you were there.
I generally do. I don't remember much before that. I'm obviously within this time frame. What time was it this morning, Walter? You were there.
It was... And he sort of is going back to pockets again to sort of just reassure himself to see if he's got bus tickets.
Yeah. You would have... I would say you won't have a bus ticket.
So he's sort of going through pockets and isn't finding a bus ticket, and again, Apple Pocket. Against the morning, it was it was the morning. I can't remember the exact hour. I had breakfast. My car broke down. Or did it? It was this morning.
I would say you'd know it was around 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Which is like... That was around the time that I realized I was there, and then I just snapped to getting on with my day, and then I had a call saying everyone was ready to meet. Interesting. Walter, you say...
Who sent out the messages? Who sent out the messages? Is it you? Or do you delegate?
So, as far as I'm aware, I send out word to call people in, and then that triggers many events. Either you get letters, phone calls, however you get communicated usually. And that card, for example. All these routes are bathed in a certain level of magic. I wonder if that's why they stayed.
Curious.
Mister, tell me what happened again when you were at the palace.
I think at this point, Walter kind of first has a moment just to look across the room and just gauge everyone's faces in reaction again to girl with doll here, and just to see if they're all fine with this. Is this a
with that, because I was also going to even do a sense roll on you, but I don't feel like it would gain much. I don't know if I even said it, I've already blanked, but you would have seen the widow maybe glance at Cece and give them a little kind of slightly giddy little silent hello, so to speak. But that's the only thing you might have seen from her.
So it's seeing that everyone, nobody's completely freaking out about.
The only person that seems most on edge is the woman that's now been named as Vesper, which is the woman in white. And quite ironic considering there's a stark contrast in their wear. Thing to call out with Vesper as well, I haven't really said this yet, is she is a little bit different herself. If I can find pictures, I don't know where I've done them. Vesper, we'll see it in the break. She is wearing full white. She has short white hair, and she has a scar down her face, like half her face. But she seems to be her skin is very pale. One of her eyes, her good eye that's not on the scar side, is red, and the other is a milky white. So already two kind of strange people, and they both don't seem to like each other. Well, one of them definitely is against the other.
Okay. I was sent to Buckingham Palace. So, you know, sort of opening up his body language, both to talk to strange girl in black, all black hair, and mostly to the room. Mostly to the room. I went into the palace, as I was signed to do. And they were talking about how there was an incident. There was some sort of incident there. I proceeded through the corridors, escorted by a member of staff who said everyone was on edge and there'd been this incident with a maid. And as soon as I opened the door, there was just a foul covering of flies as far as you could see upon the floor, upon the walls. There was red across the up over the walls. The bookcases were thrown aside. There was a lamp down on the ground. There was a lamp down on the ground, and as I walked further in, there was a body lifting up. There was a body just there, covered in flies. And as soon as I went to take a photograph of this body to bring it back and report on it to MI5, which is my job, is to report on this stuff, everything changed. Everything went to normal. I got a photo of them. I took photos around the place. There was a cross on the wall.
Well, I wish I could see what you saw. It sounds interesting.
Thinking to himself that he's still got the camera in his hand. He's like, well, we can develop these. Is there a... And then he sort of pauses for a second to think if Boots exists in this timeline and that they have photo to develop in.
Yes, they do. And at this point, Vesper will be like, that's exactly what I was thinking. There's actually a chemist just up the road that very, very new with camera equipment and stuff. It might be closed now, but and she looks over at you, Colin. That doesn't stop us usually. Maybe we can go in and get these things developed sooner rather than later and find out what's going on.
Does bleed have a habit of showing up on photographs?
It can do. Depends on the entity. Something that has this kind of power is very unusual, so unknown, but it's our only lead at the moment.
Does any of this sound familiar, Vesper? Like the flies and the writing? Has anything come across in any other circles?
It would be interesting to see what the writing is. Maybe we can make something of it.
Did Walter mention the flies coming from inside the body? I think you did at the start, right?
Yeah, they covered it and they were emanating up from it, you know. I threw water on it, I threw holy water on it, and he sort of like is really proud of this fact to the group. I threw holy water on it and it scattered some of the flies.
You'd see Vesper for a moment just kind of scoff as if you're so proud and she doesn't want to not let you have your moment.
Good for you and the holy water, I guess.
You just carry holy water on you at all times.
Part of the MI5 equipment, you know, when we have some like weird sort of calls, I mean, yeah, I can't shoot it. It's the palace, it's Buckingham Palace. I can't open fire in Buckingham Palace.
Now, tell me, Mr. Hessington, do you have any identification at all, you know, that could kind of prove that you're from the FBI?
Yeah, MI5.
MI5? Sorry.
And-
I always forget. It's MI5 over here, isn't it?
And this is when he's going back to pockets again, and
Yeah. You have your
Nobody
badge.
pulls out a badge.
You have your badge, yeah.
If you had turned around and said, and the fact that you think you're an MI5.
Aha! So yeah, Cece will look at that and be like, it sounds like this fella's having a bit of a rough day. And maybe we should try and help him.
Yes.
I don't
I
know if
agree.
you'd want help from a criminal.
Ignore Colin. He's all right once you get to know him. Lieutenant Cecile Chiffre, but y'all can call me Cece if you want.
Pleasure to meet you, Cece. And there's something about Walter's face of seeing Cece and recognizing the fact that they went straight to FBI, that it's quite reassuring to Walter about Cece. So good. Yeah, I just want to understand what I saw and why I'm here and with you four. Referring to four and sort of seeing good old Vesper and the Widow as otherworldly creatures at this point.
So, I mean, come on, Leonard. Come on, Evelyn. Like, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, sorry, darling. Evelyn Holloway. As you can see, we all know each other.
Leonard Hawthorne. Pleasure.
And I'll gesture to the widow. Darling, do you wanna? No, don't worry about it, sweetie. It's all right. She's just known as the widow, but don't worry about her. She's all right. Okay.
Oddly, you think the doll almost looks at you, and then you blink, and you just don't know.
Okay, there's definitely a subtle little. Not even a subtle.
Vesper will speak up, and you might have clocked my name already, but I'm Vesper.
Okay.
Julius, forgetful leader.
Hey, this is the one time. But welcome, I suppose. This is Candela. We are a ragtag group, as you can tell. We investigate anomalies such as what you've come across. I would assume the reason you received this card from me was because I was going to invite you anyway from today's events. So, welcome aboard. You may want this as well, and she slides across the table a small Candela pin. To allow you back here, that card is only one use on that door.
Okay, so Walter sort of like takes the pin and sort of turns it round a few times, and he's not going to take a good sniff of it, but
There's an
puts
odd like glisten to it that you can't quite put your finger on. It's not the light, because it's very bright in here, so it's almost, there's no shine off it, it's just pure white in here. So yeah, it's weird, there's something mystical about it.
And then sort of like looking around the room and seeing a few others sort of wear it, but he's not too sure where he is in all this, so he sort of just goes into old pocket.
Sure, that's a great idea.
Safekeeping on old left side, it's good safekeeping. It's right side you don't want to trust.
Okay. So I guess I'm sending you all to get these photos developed.
What an exciting mission.
Well, for now, and then come back and we'll figure out what to do, I guess.
Oh, hush, Leonard. You know that most of these things lead to nothing, but we're here to try and help out. And obviously, Mr. Hessington here is not used to this, so let's at least try and help him for his first time, you know?
Yes. Well, let's get this over with then. The night grows young.
Okay. And with that,
Well,
okay.
I hope we see pictures of weird things. You haven't just been taking pictures of your personal teddy collection.
I assure you, it was. What you're gonna see is horrifying, disgusting. It's filth and things you'd never want to see. You wouldn't want to trouble yourself with it. I'm sure the rest of us will be okay.
You'll be surprised by what we've seen.
And he sort of just sort of like pause and sort of just like looks from person to person to sort of see if what Cece's saying is serious or a little bit of a bluff.
I think if you're looking at Cece, like, you can see that although she's kind of being quite kind to you, like, her eyes are very, very distant. Like, the eyes of a soldier, like Walter would know. Like, you've seen those kind of shell-shocked eyes a little bit before. Cece has that same look on her face.
When you look at Colin, he's got his sleeves pulled all the way down, but you can see that his left hand is bandaged very tightly, and there's some shadowing of blood staining the bandages. And he just looks a little bit disheveled, dark circles under his eyes, and it seems like he just can't unclench his jaw. He's just always on edge.
If you looked at Leonard, you might notice his posture is reminiscent of soldiers, heels together, upright, back straight.
With Evelyn, she's just quite chirpy. She seems a bit strangely happy to be here. Not uncomfortable at all, just kind of very warm, happy face to look at.
You can't really look at the widow. You just can't. But at the end, she would probably turn to Vesper and say, wait. Wish us luck that Colin can get us in to get these photos done. Have a good evening.
Vesper just kind of like, you can tell she's trying to stop her shiver down her spine. And yeah. So we'll be moving off to the Boots chemist in a moment. But we're going to take a break because it's been an hour and a half already. So we're going to take a 10-minute break and we'll be back. So thank you everyone for watching so far. I need to find my buttons. I've got too many buttons on this thing. Alright, see you all in a bit.
I'm loving your outfit, by
Okay.
the way.
We're back.
Thank you.
Hello. Welcome. We are back. I do want to quickly call out a few of the followers that we've got at the moment. Spenny followed, Quispy Gaming, and Mr. Sneak followed as well. So thank you very much for those follows, especially if you're still here.
Mr. Sneak and Quispy are from the ATL streaming community, so thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Nice. Thank you. Right. So we're gonna move on from the chapter house platform 13 and move straight to a lovely little Kodak shop that's also a chemist just down the road. It's shut up. It's a small little shop. There's not many people about. The time is probably about now, probably around 8 o'clock, 8:30-ish in the evening. So very few people on the streets as you kind of make your way to the shop.
So how do y'all get into MI5 then, Mr. Hessington?
Oh, and I was in the army. I was served during World War II. I was an officer during World War II. And
You're in the army, sir? Same as me. Lieutenant, sir, of the 688.
The 688s?
Yes, sir. We were officially tasked with sorting the mail. There was a big old backlog that we had to get through.
Yes, I remember now. And there's this little glint, sort of like click within sort of Walter's face that people might be able to pick up on. Yes, 688. Oh, yes, the mail. Yes, because I was sending letters to my back home, and they were coming in, and they got delayed. And yes, I remember now. But yeah, I served as an officer, and then afterwards came back home, and MI5 called, and I continued that way. I'd been a police officer before that.
If you don't mind me asking, sir, what was your rank?
I was a...
I search in your pocket.
I was
Major.
scrolling through.
You're a major.
I was a major. I had just a little small group of company of soldiers, really. It wasn't too much, but I was a major.
I got great respect for my major, sir. Major Charity Adams.
I'm sure you did. It was a strange time. Did you spend much time on the front line? And then Sophie, also having picked up a little bit in Leonard's face, sort of looks across to bring Leonard in as well. Did you ever get to spend much time on the front line?
Briefly, as harrowing as it was, I was a field medic.
Officially very little, sir. But unofficially, well, that don't exist no more.
And so Walter's sort of like nodding along with CC, and it's still understanding that, and it's picking up from Leonard's the field medic side. Was that both wars? Was it Leonard's?
Regrettably, yes, though I was only of age at the beginning of the first one. The second was much more involved.
And then sort of like Walter's looking across to Colin and trying to gauge some age in there. What about yourself then, boy? Were you around then?
Perhaps.
You won't get much out of us, my friend. We're a very closed bunch.
Understandable. I mean, it's not every day that you visit platform 13 at King's Cross.
Maybe not for you.
Come on, look, he's got a pin. He's with us now. That means we can. You just need to relax a little bit. You all right, Colin? You know, with your hand.
Perfectly fine.
Come now, Mr. Hughes, this is your deal. How are we getting in?
So we're at the front door,
You're at the front door.
and Colin looks at the knob and turns it, and it's locked.
It's locked.
Well, take a look at it.
Okay.
Colin looks at the lock, and it looks like what?
It's your standard lock and key. Nothing too crazy. It's 1950s, but yeah, it's been locked up. The close sign is on. But it's something that you've probably dealt with in your criminal escapades before. Something quite simple. You probably could crack it.
Cece's going to be looking around, looking up and down the street, trying to see how many other people are around. Like, is this busy street, that kind of stuff. I want to see if I can clock anything.
It's not incredibly busy. There's a few people probably getting out of cars, being dropped off by like taxis, but nothing. There's the odd one or two, nothing crazy.
Is there any chance that any of them would spot Colin cracking the door? And do we need to do some sort of... That's what Cece's looking for.
So the door of the shop is... So you've got the front shop window and the door is slightly recessed. So if Colin kind of sets in there, they're kind of out of street view, especially with you all kind of stood around.
Okay. Colin reaches into a pocket inside of his coat, pulls out this little small envelope that's wrapped in leather, opens it up, and has a lockpick kit.
Okay. Mark that off as an item that you have. Are you gonna... I'm assuming you're attempting the lock. If you are, can you roll me a control roll, please?
I have one of the controls circled, so is it just one?
Just one dice, unless you want to add a drive to add more.
Yeah, I'll add a drive.
Okay.
So 2?
Yeah, so 2 dice.
I got a 2 and a 1.
Okay. So you kind of go at this lock, and usually these sort of things are quite easy for you, but this one's quite rusted and very stiff, and your lockpick snaps.
In frustration, Colin grips the knob and uses all of his force to drive the knob down and break the handle.
Okay, roll me a strike roll, please.
Strike, I have 2 drives. Do I add another dice?
You can add another one if you want to use a drive as well. Otherwise, you've just got 2 normally.
You can... The maximum number of dice you can roll is 6.
Yeah, but you will have 2 on your strike, so you've got 2 dice, and you can add more if you wish.
We also, just to add, is we do have the circle ability in this together.
Yeah.
So someone else can spend a drive to help an ally on a roll. On a result of 3 or less, you both earn back 1 drive. So if anyone's used a lot of drive, that's good as well.
Or, just not that ability, any of you can spend drive to help as well.
Yeah.
But you...
Well, I rolled a 6.
You got a 6? Okay, perfect. So, yes, after breaking your lockpicks, you're rather frustrated, and you just put all your strength into this thing, and the lock, as you push down, just snaps, and the door swings open.
I lean back and I look at my group, and I'm like, there you are, professionally done.
Well done, Mr. Hughes.
Doorknob falls and just like makes a really loud clank sound.
Yeah.
And I just walk inside.
Let's go.
Well, now we're breaking and entering. How fun.
Always were.
I mean, what were we doing before, Lennon?
Oh, just less of the breaking part.
But it's so much more fun. don't you think?
There's a part of Walter that sort of like is the last one to enter. If everyone's heading straight in, he's the last one because for him, this is all strange. Breaking into nice local independent chemists. And this is a very unique situation to be in.
Colin looks at Walter, gives him an eyebrow. And he's like, "Come on now, it's not that bad being a rubbish little criminal."
So double check, see if, with the doctor, but it's seen that the Leonard is quite happy to go on in.
Okay.
Goes with the other military officer, the other soldier, CC. What's going on in?
CC would have already gone in. If Colin was standing around talking, CC's disappeared inside and will be scouting inside to make sure there's nothing in there. Like, I know it's 1953, but no alarms or anything like that kind of thing. She doesn't want to be making any kind of ruckus at this point.
Leonard would have been one of the last in, so he would be stopped at the door and noticed that you haven't responded to Hughes's beckon.
Evelyn's going on in already.
Yes, Evelyn would have gone on in and she would have picked up the handle off the floor and she would go on in and look for something to kind of watch the door so it looks like nobody's really in here.
Okay, and then sort of Walter's there and then looking across to the widow, our friend all in black.
Don't worry, we were never here. She wants it.
Yeah, he's putting the stuff up and getting straight in. Nah, not staying out with her. Nah, no thanks.
Nice. So you all enter the little shop. It is part chemist, part camera shop. It looks like the camera shop because cameras are becoming more and more popular. They seem to be taking over more of the displays in the shop. But yeah, the front end, you've got your desk. You've got a few shelves in the middle and a few on the walls. And yeah, it's quiet. There's not really anything going on here. You would know just from camera shops in general that any of the development stuff would be done out back. And you can see the door to that just ahead.
So I would say that CC, as everyone has finally entered the shop, then CC comes from that back room.
Okay.
And is like, development stuff's in the back, and there's a back door if we need it as well.
Okay. So CC, if you had gone into that back room first,
yep.
You would. Yeah, no. If you had already gone in, you would have come across. You would have startled an old man who was leaning over one of the light developing display things out the back. He'd been like, "Oh, I thought I locked the door. Hello."
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I've got me and a few friends have just come. We've got a soiree this evening, and we really need to get some pictures developed to make sure they're going through. So I was wondering if you could help us out.
Well, it's very unusual. Normally, we just take the film at the front desk, and please, you shouldn't be back here.
Evelyn will sidle up with Cece, hiding the handle that she's picked up, and be like, "Darling, I need to get this to the editor. Can you not do a quick job for us? I'm on a deadline, a very tight deadline, you see."
Can you
Colin
roll?
gets...
Go.
Oh, sorry.
No, go.
I was just
go.
going to say,
Yeah.
Colin sleeks into the shadows right next to the door and just waits to see how the scenario plays out.
Okay. Evelyn, roll me a sway roll, please.
I have nothing in space, so that's just one die, right?
It's 2 dice, and you take the lowest unless you want to add a drive, or CC can support you, so give you one of their drives, or you can use your ability.
When we spend drives, do we have to spend drives in the same... Or can we do something else that can...
I think you can do it from anywhere. Yes.
Okay.
As
so
long as it
doesn't
makes sense for that.
Yeah. So for
particular thing.
Evelyn, you'll need to take it from the drive for that thing. But if you're given drives, you can give them from anything else. But what you're meant to do is to store a reason for that. So yeah.
Okay, I think
I'm not sure I can massively help.
I'll spend a drive, so I'll take an extra die.
Okay.
Because I kind of feel like we really need these pictures. I rolled poo. 2 1s and a 2.
2 1s and a 2. He's immediately like, no, this is against everything. I really must ask you to leave.
Colin,
Oh, well. You tried, Evelyn.
Yeah, it's
Colin,
just size and walk
I'm
back
going to
up.
punch the dude.
Colin was
comes
ready.
in.
Yeah, Colin's
Yeah.
coming as
Colin's
well.
ready, yeah, go on.
Colin slinks into the room, grabs the man by the mouth. In his hand, he has a cloth
Oh.
that is wet, and the guy just slowly starts getting cross-eyed and sleepy, and he starts breathing weird, and then eventually he just goes limp in Colin's arms as he lays him down on the ground.
Yay! Sleep time!
Colin, was
guys.
that entirely necessary?
Well, you didn't do much in your swing, so
But
I
now,
did my
do you know how to develop film?
no.
Darling Walter, do you know how to develop film?
I was hoping you would, as the reporter. I was
Oh,
working
no.
on that presumption.
Oh no, darling, I pay people to do that for me. Oh wow. Leonard, let's have a look at the
How-
chemicals. I'm sure we can figure it out.
Very well. Lead the way, Miss Holloway.
And Leonard and I will go out to the chemicals and try and figure this out.
Okay.
I'll go
I'm coming.
I'll go stand outside and make sure no one else comes in.
Here, Colin, I think you might need this. And she throws you the handle. Try and give me it some way so it looks like we haven't broken in.
Sure.
There's a point where Walter's kind of looking across to Our Lady in all black and going, is there any chance, and this is a real long shot in his head, that you know how to develop film?
I might have been in one of these rooms once or twice. Usually with that gentleman on the floor. So I've seen him do it.
And there's a part where that just kind of looks back to the group and is like, well, could just the widow. He's really trying to put a name to put a name here.
The widow is perfect. So
Okay. So, is 2 of you, or Walter and the widow, are you all trying to figure out how to do this at the moment?
I know Walter is fobbing this camera off on Evelyn.
Okay.
It was Evelyn and Leonard. I think,
Okay,
right?
so Evelyn and Leonard, can you, together, one of you roll me a focus roll, and the other can give a drive as well, so you're working together.
How's your focus, Evelyn?
I've got 1 in focus.
I have 2, and it's the gilded thing.
Okay,
Oh,
do you want me to give you a drive as well? 'Cause I've got
That would
quite a
be
lot.
lovely.
I will give you one of my drives.
Okey doke. Check abilities quickly. All good. Rolling 3. Ew. I'm going to use a resistance
Go for it. Roll again.
on that one.
Yeah, roll
Um,
one of the dice again.
Is it one?
It's one dice.
So,
Yeah.
right. 4. That'll do.
Okay.
The rest were 2, 2, and 3.
So, being a doctor, you're aware of some of the chemicals, and you're aware of the process. You know that the film needs to be coated first, and hung to dry before you can start developing films, because any light on the film will blank the film otherwise, so they need to be treated. You figure out which one that is as you kind of sort that out, and you pull the film out, soak it, and hang it. The rest of them, you're not quite sure, but there's some trays laid out with these chemicals already in, and you can kind of come to the assumption that you probably go in order.
Okay.
I'll say it now rather than typing. You should have rolled 2 dice, because when you burn a resistance, you re-roll based on your action rating,
Sure.
which you said was 2.
Sure thing.
Is one of them gilded? Still.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
On a resistance roll.
Yes, if that action is gilded, you still roll with the gilded dice. So.
I'll just re-roll the gilded. Oh, that's a 6, baby.
Okay.
Get that drive
I will
back.
say you figured that out, and then you come across the How to Develop Books for Dummies.
Oh shit, it's right here.
Yeah.
This might help.
Yeah.
It says on the wall exactly what to do.
Okay.
Oh wait, we need a dark room for this. I'll shut the door.
So yes, the room is dark, the red light is on. You go through the process. It takes you're sat around for about half an hour, 40 minutes while you wait for the film to dry. It goes into a cabinet that's kind of like a dryer. And then once that's done, you start to develop the photos. There's only about 4 or 5 photos on this film, but you begin to develop what you wish to do within this time.
If Evelyn's outside the room,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Leonard was in there by himself to develop.
I mean, you can. It's big
Yep,
enough for a
okay.
few people. It is.
Big enough for a few, but
Yeah.
I would like to walk up to a water and be like, "Darling, don't mind me, but would you awfully be kind to empty your pockets for me?" And she'll look over to the widow as well. And it's like, widow, would you mind coming over here? Just help me out with something. That would be pleasurable.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and at this point, Walter's starting with old trusty top pocket here and pulls out nothing, because the MI5 detailing is gone forever. That does not exist. He goes, okay. And then you got good old bottom left pocket and pulls out the pin badge and sort of puts that down. And then there's good old back pocket, pulls out the badge and sort of puts that down. And then there's right hand pockets, and there's going in, and then it's pretty much as soon as he puts his hand in, he feels the hole and is like, no, that's where the apple left. And then he pulls out again a good old vial of holy water, but it's now empty, so it's now just a clear vial, and sort of puts that down. He sort of pulls back his jacket and sort of points to the firearm as well, and it's like, and the weapon.
Yes, I think that'll be good on the table as well.
And takes that out, sort of puts it down, and gets out all the stuff. He's like, that's me cleaned out.
Great. And she pops down the empty camera on the table, and she's like, "Widow, can you read anything off this? Any of these items? There's obviously, we know he's been to Buckingham Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything you can detect on any of these?"
Let me have a closer look. And I can use sense.
Yes.
Needed.
Sense roll, please.
Oh, the little dot, the diamond means gilded, right?
Yes.
So one of the 2 dots is a gilded dice, or is it
Correct.
2 plus gilded?
No, it's one of the 2.
Okay. He's got a lot of junk on him. Oh, the Candela logo means 6, right?
Yes. Okay.
On the gilded. I haven't got anything to replenish though. I get a good sense of everything. Is there anything in particular that?
So, the few bits on Walter, not too much. The Candela pin, definitely you sense what you usually sense, which is a mystical kind of magic aura from it. But the camera doesn't have the film in at the moment, but there is definitely a residue of some kind of bleed on it.
Yeah. Oh, sir. What did you say you did when you saw the body?
And he kind of looks down to his right hand. I touched it.
Did you feel something?
Yes, yeah. It was like yes.
Oh, you're definitely one of us now. Welcome to the circle. Okay. Well, we're gonna get to the bottom of this phenomena. It definitely left trace on this camera. I'm glad you didn't damage it. Maybe you should be there when the photos get developed. The being seemed to maybe take a liking to you.
Okay. He's still sort of like looking at his sort of the hand to the camera, generally avoiding good old eye contact with not knowing where the eyes are on the widow since you can't see through the veil, but yeah, okay. You know, feeling a little odd that he's been directed around by a woman carrying a doll.
Yeah, she fully looks like a woman.
We're gonna cut to Leonard, who's in the dark room at the moment. You've pulled up a stool while you're waiting for these photos to develop. They're pegged up above you, and you're just kind of sitting there minding your own business for a moment, and you hear a fly buzzing around.
I'll try and find it.
You do spot it. Can you roll me a survey roll?
6.
So with a 6, you watch this fly as it kind of goes around. It goes towards the red light, comes away, and then goes and lands on one of the photos. And then goes into one of the photos. Flies into the photo. You kind of lean forward as you kind of watch this. The photo has the picture of the woman on it, and it lands back on the woman, and then the woman in the photo sits up, looks at you, and immediately screams into your face. You hear this shriek, and she runs to the left of the photo and vanishes.
As she screams, Leonard rears back and kicks the stool away as he backs up like a few feet.
Mm-hmm.
And the stool just like clashes against the table behind him.
Okay.
Maybe at that noise, or at least the widow would be like, oh, Evelyn, it might be time. And sir, Cece, Colin, you probably... I think all the serious stuff might be in here now.
Yeah, Colin hears the noise and rushes back in. He's like, is developing film supposed to be this noisy?
I don't know what he's doing in there. You go in first.
All right.
Evelyn will kind of jump in front of Colin and be like, wait, if you open the door, it will damage the exposure. And she knocks.
Oh, can't hear you.
Yeah, you didn't come through. There you go.
Is it not coming out?
We got it.
The next one.
Hey. Like, Leonard, darling, are you okay in there?
There is a pregnant pause, and then, yes, come.
And then she'll let Colin walk through the door.
Colin looks at Evelyn, giving her like a look like, may I now?
Be my guest.
Much appreciated. He opens the door and gets a sight of everything, sees Leonard on the floor, and just kind of tips his head to the side and is like, everything all right, mate?
One moment. I'll clamber up and go to the photo and take... Does it look developed?
It does, yes.
I'll take the one that moved and I'll try and just angle it slightly towards the light, and I'm just inspecting it very closely to try and see if I can see the movement again.
Roll me a focus roll. 6.
Yay.
So you're inspecting it really closely, and you kind of hold it up to try and get more of the light from the doorway. And that's when you notice there's no movement in this photo, but there's others hung up, and there seems to be something darting across them.
There. Mr. Hughes, you seeing this?
Colin leans in, kind of just tilts his head, and is like, I am, but I don't know if I believe it.
She began here, and she's just been running. She's there. She won't stop.
Colin's eyes are following Leonard's finger and seeing the images moving across the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hessington?
Hearing on the other side, just going, and everyone else sort of clambering on. Yes, yeah. So going straight through the door.
Observe, please.
Okay, and Walter's heading straight to where both Colin are and Leonard are, standing on Leonard's sides, a little distance from Colin.
I'll hold up the picture that originally had the body in it. This was the picture of the body? This angle?
Looking at it in... Yes, it is.
Well, she's moving. And I'll gesture to the other pictures along the line.
Leonard and I are gesturing at the same time, like following it together.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Walter's kind of squinting. Who's moving? What's moving?
Walter, you notice at this point there's something moving between these photos, and it's very odd. They're photos. This shouldn't be right.
Who's she? Who's she moving? In Walter's head, he's thinking,
yeah,
these people must know that this thing has a name. They probably call it. I don't know. They've got the they got our good old the widow friends here, so they probably give this a different name.
Right there, and I'm gonna try and use one of my specialities if I can, bending spoons, to try and trip up or stop this being from moving around.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So whatever's happening in these other pictures, I'm gonna try and knock a chair over or something, and I got a 4.
Okay.
I'll leave it as that.
So with that, I would say you try to, rather than knocking a chair, you knock a peg to try and drop the photo that she's in. As you do that, she kind of comes towards the photo as the photo's falling, as there's a bit of paper, it's a little bit slow, and she seems to almost take effect to that gravity, and immediately there is a whole being that pops out the back of the photo and flies into another set of photos on the back wall, and a load of flies follow her.
That's what it was like. That's just what it was like in the palace.
Does it smell in the room?
That metallic kind of air that Walter found at the beginning, and that kind of the dampness happens when she comes out with all those flies.
Where's the holy water helped last time? It was the holy water that helped last time. Where's, and realizing he came bustling in, he's left it out on the table. Walter's like looking over his shoulder for the hope, thinking he's gonna go get the holy water.
Your god won't help you here, Mr. Hessington.
It did the thing last time. How'd you make it not do this?
The photo that she's in, can I shake it?
So as you kind of go over to the photo that she's in, yes, you can. Can you? Yeah, I would just say no need to roll for this. You take the photo off, and it's a photo of, like backstage of a theatre. There seems to be the row of dressing tables with the mirrors and the lights in it, and as you pick it off, the woman screams at you once more, and then clambers over one of the desks and through the mirror in the photo.
Were you in a theatre recently, Mr. Hessington?
Not that I recall, but there's a lot that I don't remember, so...
All of these locations, are they familiar?
And Walter's looking from each of them, sort of squinting a little further, as if trying to piece
So
if they are or not.
you'll notice these photos on the back wall were already here. They're from another set of photos.
Got it.
So yeah.
Not quite. Maybe that one. Maybe I might have been assigned to that case once. That could be an old one of ours, but
Are we all in this room?
You can
now,
be,
or we-
yeah, you can be if you want. Yeah.
What does it say on the back, Lynn? Does it have it? Is it a location or something?
Oh, this one's just been developed.
There is a
I'll tell you
number.
how-
There is a number on the
peek-
back.
What's the number?
092.
092. Each of these are labeled. These are probably from the developer.
might they keep a catalogue or something, and then we can work out who the order's from or where.
Evelyn will get excited about this and run back out to the front of the shop to look for a receipt book
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Roll me another focus roll as you run outside. Actually, no, a survey roll. Sorry.
Do survey.
Yeah,
'cause I'm
survey.
better in survey.
Yeah, no, survey as a search. That's fine.
Okay, so I've got gilded and 2, so one of them is gilded.
One of them's
Yeah.
gilded. Yeah.
You roll 2 dice, one gilded, one not.
3 and a 5. The 5 is not on the gilded die.
Okay, so you don't gain back the drive, but if you want to use the 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use 5.
So yes, you do find, takes a bit of rummaging, but you find a ledger, and you open it up to kind of the page where it's most recent, and you do find the number of 092. And running your finger across, it says actually it's from a local paper, the Metro.
Oh, goody. She walks back into the room and she's like, okay, so order number 092 is for the Metro. So I suppose we can go look there, see if what's occurring in the theatre. I don't know, does anybody recognise this theatre? I haven't been to any shows recently.
Leonard would be a man of the arts. Would he have been to the theatre?
It would have been to the theatre. You can roll me a focus roll to see if you can figure out what theatre this is.
Ooh, double ones.
No, it's quite a generic photo. And Evelyn, the Metro is the journalist paper that would have taken these photos, so it wouldn't necessarily be the theatre itself, but that's who these photos are for. And you, being a journalist, may have contacts there? Possibly?
Maybe.
Is she still moving through the pictures? Or...
She's not. She's disappeared through this mirror.
Okay.
Looking at the other, I'm guessing it's not just one picture of the theatre. Is she moving through any of the others that are...
She is not. She seems
With
to have
that group?
disappeared once she's gone through that mirror.
Major Hessington?
Yes. Yeah.
Was there any mirror or photograph or something when you took the picture? Actually, can I look at the photo that
Yeah.
of like the photos that Walter took as well? Like, I guess kind of looking across those and asking Walter at the same time if they remember anything.
So there were...
There's...
Go on.
Sorry, you go.
I would say there were no mirrors in that room. Most of the stuff was artwork and it was all torn.
Is there anything special about this mirror?
No, it's just a mirror.
Okay.
I think Leonard might have halted her actions.
I'm more concerned that she might have escaped or is maybe on that location. There's something going on with these pictures and people moving around places.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something special about that dressing room. I wonder if there was something special about that room in Buckingham Palace. Is there a connection?
I don't know, but being able to move by mirrors would make understandable how they got into Buckingham Palace with all the security. Don't know.
None of the rest of us know about this case that Walter was assigned to, right?
No.
We haven't heard anything about it.
Just what he's told us.
Yeah. How the pictures they look cut in the photos. Like, is there anything, can you remember anything whilst you were there that maybe they were they slashed by a knife, claws or something? Was there more than one slash in them?
Let me think back. Can he make a focus
Yeah.
roll to see if he can remember what he saw?
Yeah.
He has nothing in it, so I rolled 2 dice and
Yeah.
take the lowest.
Correct.
Unfortunately, it's double 2.
Number 2. So there's not much you can remember, but what you do have in front of you is photos. They look torn, like there was some kind of struggle initially. Not almost like, not quite, but like a single claw mark down some of them. Others have just been knocked over and shattered and such. Seems to have been something going on in here. The thing you do also notice with the photos is the markings that were in there. You've got the Red Cross, and you've also got skull and crossbones. And now you've got a photo of it. You can kind of actually, someone, CC, make me a focus roll on this.
Focus.
Yeah.
I'm bad at focus. And then I got nothing. A 1.
Okay. No, there's just some writing. You can't quite make out what it says.
No, I only remember seeing those symbols that you see in the pictures. The cross in bloods, skull and crossbones in bloods. It was bloods, and there was a cross, but no theatre marks, no happy laughing face and sad face.
It'd be strange if she was the one that was slashing the photos, because if that's how she travels. So I'm wondering if maybe there's someone that's was trying to stop her from getting out of that room. And your picture gave her that escape.
Maybe it was the and really Walter is sold on this. Maybe it was the holy water when he threw the holy water on that it made her get very angry and upset.
Y'all do realize, Major, that flies don't like water, right? It's not just the holiness of the water that maybe would have done anything.
Bloody fucking holy water.
The Walter's face is no, it was a cursed person, and the holy water helped the cursed person get out. You know, he is not getting sold on this idea of the water, it being wet, they didn't like. It's thanks to...
All right, well, maybe we can get some more of your holy water, but Evelyn, do you reckon you got anyone we can ask about the photos and maybe find out that theater?
Yes, I could go talk to Jimmy. He owes me a favor or two.
Okay.
Through this, Leonard has pulled out a small notebook and a pen and is making meticulous notes on all of the different imagery that we had, the numbers associated with them, the locations, everything.
Okay.
Lenny, when you first saw her, was it in the palace, like Sir here said?
Yes, she was in the position Mr. Hessington mentioned, floating.
Okay.
Why?
Just checking the stories line up. He's not insane yet.
Yeah, Walter's kind of like something that's still very strange about this widow.
So Evelyn, are you planning to go see this Jimmy, or are you just going to make a phone call?
What time is it?
It's probably at this point, because you've had to take some time developing, probably close to 10 o'clock now.
Are you? I thought when Walter came. Oh no, when Walter came up was at 7:30.
It was 7:30.
No.
You got here just after 8. You've had to develop photos. It's taken some time.
Okay, so
It's probably 9:30, 10 o'clock now.
She would probably slam the book shut that she's got. Like, Walter, grab your things, let's go. Make sure you've got your ID on you. We may need it.
Grabbing it all back, going back out there, grabbing it all, and it's going back in the same trusty pockets.
Can we bring anything with us? I'm looking around the chemist.
Yeah, let's take those photos, including the one that lady got away in. We don't want this. She'll look at the guy that Colin knocked out. Like, we don't want her coming back and maybe harming this poor gentleman. He's been through enough already tonight.
And at this point, Walter's like, "Do you not just put these in like a container, like some sort?" He's like making like hand gestures of, you know, people who deal with weird things have weird thing holders on them.
Yes, but darling, they're not big enough for photographs. Normally they're like little vials. I don't know. Leonard, if you got your briefcase on you, we could pop them in there until we get them back to the lead case back at the circle.
No, I don't have it with me. I'm
How
sure we can
about
find
you carry
something
them in
here.
your pockets?
Just don't feel
Walter's face
okay.
genuinely is like, okay. Like blinking 3 times.
Well, our role within this circle is to deal with this fly lady. So we should be prepared when we find them. If you say water works, maybe there's some, I don't know, eye spray or something in here that we can get and try and capture her.
Now,
Or-
Widow, you better remember, it's not just water. It's holy water.
Now, the widow's got a point about capturing. Are there any like disposable cameras?
There will be, yes.
Cece's gonna grab a bunch of disposable cameras.
Okay.
And don't worry, we're allowed to take whatever we want. Vesper will deal with it. She says that to Walter.
Do we hear a little chuckle after she says that?
So it's not really stealing.
Don't know, is there were movie cameras invented? 53?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there would have
disposable,
been
yeah.
handheld ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any of those lying around?
Yeah, there'd be one on display.
How about some good old-fashioned fly spray? What the hell was it called? Rads?
Raid.
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 Gonna get some raid. You check it exists.
Man walking around with those sticky tubes.
Oh, can we get some
Don't give a
sticky?
hang.
Can we get some sticky? Yeah, the bug stickies. This shop has to have everything. Wait, raid.
Google tells me that disposable cameras are very, very modern. We would all know about them because they were invented in 1949.
There
Well,
you
the
go.
50s was like more like is it brownie cameras? Brownie cameras?
Yeah.
Were they 50s?
Possibly.
Got one of them somewhere.
But yes, disposables would have been a thing, so you would have been able to pick those up.
Yeah. I'll grab some disposable cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, there might have been a slightly different brand, but fly spray did exist. Raid didn't come a few years before Raid.
Maybe that stuff Colin put on the rag.
And that's the last thing you want to smell.
Roll me
You
a...
kind of-
Sorry, Widow, roll me a survey roll to see if you can find any fly spray or anything similar.
I want fly spray and I want some sticky strips. That's the biggest roll I can get. 6.
Okay, you find both.
I'm armed. Yay!
Sticky strips and fly spray.
Sticky strips.
So
and
beat
fly
this
spray.
ghost.
Yeah, she's just gonna kill the
Dangerous
odd.
now.
Yeah, the odd little fly. She's like,
Now, if we go past a church, we just need a priest to bless that fly spray, and then we'll be
totally.
sorted.
You get a chuckle from Leonard. on that one.
A bit.
Colin's just in the corner, rolling his eyes. Unbelievable that this is still a conversation.
Oh, lighten up, Colin.
Whatever you say, darling.
All this time, Walter's going to have taken the opportunity to take vial, find sink, and
Take some water. Yeah, sure.
maybe you need a bit more water in there.
Yeah.
Just hoping some of the holiness is still in there and like swishing it around.
It's diluted, but you just shake it a few times.
Swear, this is it. This is it.
We could pass the open church on the way to the newspaper.
We'll just break into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Churches are
Don't
usually
need to
open
break
all the
another
time.
doorknob.
Might do.
Don't need to break another doorknob.
Let's just drop
So
it
yeah,
when
if
we
we're
grab you.
if we're leaving Boots, we'll make the guy reasonably comfortable.
Okay. You set him up against the wall.
Probably because I think in the rules we can just have money and stuff, right? So we'll leave him some money.
Yeah, okay.
Be very confused, like
Yeah.
he'll wake up with money just covering.
Okay.
I put a glass of water and some just like little pain medicine next to him. Also, be like, you're gonna need that.
From the shelves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like he has them behind the counter or something.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So you leave the Kodak shop, and you. Whereabouts does Jimmy live, Evelyn? Would it be close, or would it be a bit of a train ride or something?
In my head, I had it that Jimmy would be at the newspaper because he's trying to get the next edition out, and he's the runaround
Okay.
trying to get the next edition. So whilst everyone's running around like a headless chicken,
Hmm.
I would go in with some authority. I'll take Walter with me because he's got his scary MI5 card. And corner Jimmy at the newspaper and ask him for the information about these photos.
Sure thing. So I'd say by the time you get here, it's probably now close to midnight. So you rock up to the Metro HQ, and you've got a pass. Allows you in, and you kind of come into the press area, and you do see a little light on, and Jimmy is sat under it, just kind of putting stuff away. He's about to pack up for the night. He's been busy working away. So yeah, you then go up and approach him. What's Jimmy look like?
Very rundown.
Mm-hmm.
His shirt is very disheveled. He's a bit kind of like sweaty, running around all day. His comb over is kind of coming undone a bit, and he's a bit younger than me. As he's the run around, he hasn't quite been promoted up the ladder quite yet. And I walk up behind him and be like, Jimmy, darling, I'm calling in that favor.
Jimmy kind of...
Give me a hand.
He takes a moment, he's stuffing some like files and stuff into his bag. He's like, Evelyn, how's it going? How you doing? You want that favour?
Yes.
What
Do you
favour's
mind
that?
having a look at these?
Oh,
She pulls the photos out and she's like, I need to know the article to do with these pictures, you see.
he kind of goes through. Do you just do the ones of the theatre or all of them?
Just the ones of the theatre.
Okay. He kind of goes through, be like, yeah, that was the one I was working on. Yeah, it's just a little puff piece about the King's Theatre. So yeah, just down the way, we had them taken by a photographer, Barry, and yeah, I think he got quite a good light on this one, don't you think?
Yeah, that's good. Who was writing the article on that?
Oh, I can't remember. It's just one of those puff pieces. I think I had a bit of editorial on it at one point. It's just talking about, how they've done up the back. They got the new area in for all the artists and stuff. But yeah, this is a good photo. I think we did well. We managed to not get the camera in the shot with the mirrors. You can see that.
Yeah,
Mirrors.
there's mirrors there.
The mirrors. And at this point, Walter's, reaching back, and while these two are getting along really fine, Walter Hessington Jr., MI5.
Oh,
He's going straight into the mirrors. How many mirrors were there?
well, I'm not sure. You can see there's at least 4 in this one. I think there's another room probably very similar. And they probably have mirrors everywhere. I'm not sure.
Mirrors.
The photo. There would have been a line of sight somewhere. How did they do it, Jimmy? How did they take this photo and not get the camera in there?
Oh, it's all about the angle. You've got to get the angle right. So, mirrors, if you're not quite in them, it's a bit of a science. I can teach you some other time. But yeah, sorry, King's Theatre, His Majesty's Theatre is there.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jimmy. Remember, I've got a couple more favours from you, so we'll just take one of the small ones off the list, are we?
Oh, you're right, you are, Evelyn. And he looks a bit, worried about that.
Send my love to Susie. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Bye.
I will do. Good to see you, Evelyn. And put in that word for me again, will you?
Yes, I will do. No problem.
Oh, poor Jimmy.
It's terrifying.
Okay. That's what you wish to do now.
I would go back out. I kind of tug Walter along.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go back out to everyone outside the newspaper and relay the theatre.
Okay.
King's Theatre. Many mirrors. A lot of mirrors. He's saying this like everyone should be going, oh, okay, mirrors. Yeah, we know what this means.
Yes. Oh, was that the theatre that had the new dance studio put in the back of it? No?
So mirrors everywhere then?
Yeah. The concentration, maybe it's like a portal or something. Like, she could just hop from one to another. Oh, that's not going to be good.
Is it? Are they still doing the renovations on it?
No, the piece is talking about how it's fabulous now. It's all done.
This is gonna be an odd question, but has anyone got any like paint on them? Like, can of paint? Something that we might be able to cover a mirror with?
I have a jacket, a heavy jacket.
Don't say holy water again, please, sir.
I got a coat. Leonard has a blazer. Walter kind of looks towards the widows, like they're wearing a sheet over them, but maybe they should probably keep that. Who knows what horrors are beneath it?
I've got a trench coat.
We can pick up some bed sheets en route.
Well,
It looks at the time and goes, maybe another day bed sheets.
I mean, Colin can pick up bed sheets at any time of the day, right, Colin?
Sure.
What are you getting at, Miss Shiffry?
I think that this is maybe if it can move between something, like you said it moved into the mirror. I'm wondering if it gets sort of like captured. Maybe when the Major took the photo, it got trapped inside the camera. That's why I picked up all these disposable cameras. Maybe we can trap it inside there, but if it's bouncing between mirrors, we need to stop it. And if there's mirrors everywhere, then there ain't no way we're going to be able to stop it before it maybe hurts one of us. And I don't want it to hurt any of us. So if we can limit where it can go, maybe we can channel it. Get it into a line of sight, take a picture, stop it.
I know, darling, but what are you going to do? Cover every mirror and every window?
Well, we don't want to smash them, because if we smash them, it's going to have a million more that it can jump through. And they'll be teeny tiny.
And bad luck.
And bad luck.
We burn it. What if we burn the mirror? It destroys the backing of the mirror so that the silver won't be able to be reflective.
We can't burn the mirrors. All right? No fire. We cannot burn the mirrors. All right, Colin?
That's more bad luck.
Just like
covering them in paint. That might slow it down, stop it. I don't know.
I have paint at my apartment.
Can we swap by there on the way?
I can go grab it and meet back with you. I don't necessarily want any of you knowing where I live, nor do I think some of you would want to go to the certain location where I live. It's not exactly a kind place, especially for young ladies and ex-soldiers.
Also, I wonder if at the theatre they'll have a big dress-up box. Maybe some supplies there too. But we shouldn't go there until we're all ready.
Oh, you're right. They might be making backdrops and stuff. Paint. They might have stuff to paint backdrops and things.
Widow, you keep telling us to be prepared. Do you know something? You've got a feeling, down in the gut.
I'm just cautious that this thing's going to escape again. And we need to bring something back for Vesper. I love it when we bring something back for her. So I'm just keen on grabbing something.
Alright, well, Colin, if you can get your paint, then maybe if there isn't anything else at the theater, or if this thing gets the jump on us, at least we got something to work with.
Okay. So, okay for me to leave to go get it?
So yeah, we can cut to you've gone off and got it, and then you all kind of meet outside the theatre.
You know, maybe Walter does have something. Maybe just a big load of water, though. I wonder if we still could pour.
With the fire brigade and a hydrant.
What?
That's in
Hose.
America, darling. We don't have hydrants on the street in the same way over here.
Or a large garden hose.
There's lots of gardens around theaters, yeah.
Put onto some water, and then you've got yourself the means of engulfing something in water.
But is that going to be holy? Like, you said it was holy water. The holy water is the thing that does it, right? So,
Yes.
are you secretly a priest as well, Major?
No. I just Sunday's a very important day to me and the family.
Or maybe the theater was built on consecrated ground. Maybe we'll get lucky, you know?
You never know. It's London after all.
Yeah,
City's
most
built on
likely to be
50s.
haunted than anything.
Oh, don't say that. You'll make the widow all scared.
I find it hard to believe that anything could scare her.
Through this, Leonard has just been staring at the window.
Yeah, she's a normal lady height, so she doesn't look like a child or anything. But again, she's kind of attentively, somewhat listening to conversation. But the doll might be looking at you if you're looking at her.
He's trying to get a look at your face through the veil.
Oh yeah,
Like
you
trying
can
to
try
catch the light in the right way, and then his eyes drift to the doll, and they're just staring right back. And he averts his gaze.
She's a thick veil.
But I like the idea of covering the mirrors. If we're doing stuff with the mirrors, is covering them in sheets. If we paint them, then everyone will know that something's happened here, and everyone will question it, and then that'll be news. That'll be something which Evelyn will have to cover and talk about, or John
Well,
at
I mean-
the Metro, or James, whatever his name was.
Jimmy, darling.
Jimmy.
It might be that maybe we leave some stuff on the mirrors and on the walls and make it seem like some unhappy folk were.
Oh yeah,
like the new
resident
theatre.
ghost wasn't happy with the renovations. Ooh,
Bit of
that'd be a good story.
Well, I meant more a bit of vandalism or something. Make it seem like, out the realm of the normal. Move it away from the abnormal.
No fun, Cece. You always spoil my fun.
Well, you can have a bit of fun if you want.
Okay. So I would say at this point you're outside the theatre. Colin would have joined you at this point.
I'm walking up with a kind of like a shoulder sack, and it's got like 2 paint cans, some like wood bleach that I thought maybe we could use to chemically like burn the glass to not make it reflective anymore, and my hands are both like the bandages are covered in blood, and I've got like dark stains on the sleeves of my coat.
Did you rough someone up for that paint?
Nope.
Are you certain, Mr. Hughes?
Nope. No one got roughed up for the paint.
Very well.
Mission at hand.
How are we getting in here then?
Cece turns to
I-
Colin.
Okay. So I hand the bag over to Leonard to hold the paint. And
He's a very lithe, lanky man.
Old man.
Alright,
Old
fine. No,
man.
alright. Actually, I go to God, sorry. Brain fart. I go to Walter and I give him the sack. Hold this for me, won't you?
So
And
holds
he's-
it arm's
And
length.
you see like the blood on the bandage is still like kind of fresh, and like the dark like rings around the edges of my coat, and you can kind of like smell the irony taste or the irony smell. And I'm just like, good man. Turn around. I go to the door, and I get my lockpick set out again, which it is still broken. So I have to break the doorknob again.
You can try that. You can try with the broken ones if you wish. It just makes it a little bit harder.
Okay, I will try. I will try with the broken ones.
Okay, you do a control roll for me, please.
One.
Nope.
No, no.
This one, because it's broken, you're playing with it. It gets jammed in the lock, and you can't get it back out.
So I'm beyond frustrated at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and I go back to Walter and reach into the what's the doorknob made of?
This one will be probably like a full metal doorknob, much more complicated than the one that you did earlier, because it's a double set of doors onto a theatre you're at the moment.
Okay. I go into the satchel and I pull out a hammer
Mhm.
and kind of like this railroad spike.
Okay, yep.
Don't need to know why I have that. And I go to the door and I just put the spike into the keyhole and I slam the hammer right into the keyhole.
Okay.
Break the doorknob.
Again, it shatters.
Okay.
And the
Door's open.
door opens.
Like I
Death
said,
as
Evelyn.
Always.
Like I said, bit of vandalism.
We seem to be very good at it this evening.
Need to be replaced anyways.
What's your skill set or the door?
Is what it is. Need me to take that satchel back, Walter? Or you got it?
You can take it back if you'd like. You can. Walter's very quick to hand off what are presumably stolen goods. Or not stolen goods, but to him they are. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So I'm assuming you make your way into the theatre?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Quick question. So,
Yep.
from the loot we've got, is that separate to the gear we normally hold?
Yes. Yeah. You get 3 items that you carry on your person. Colin's technically used all 3 at the moment, but you did go home to get your paint, so I don't class that as an item you had on you.
Yeah, it's just in a separate bag,
Yeah.
which we
That's
can
fine.
lose.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Yeah, that's fine. So yes, you wander into the theatre, and there's that smell again that you had from before. And there also seems to be, very much like earlier, Water, you'll love this, the flies seem to be back.
Lovely. Widow. Front and center.
Now, everyone, be careful. This phenomena seems to be skittish, I feel. She reacted to the flash of a camera by the sounds of it, and is she drawn to the reflection of a mirror? I don't know if this needs drawing out or what. But follow your nose. Let's go.
I think it might be worth you all covering your mouths. Don't want anything to get inside.
My
Leonard
mouth is
pulls a
always
handkerchief
covered.
and flaps it out. Space.
This time Walter is going with the method that everyone else is going for, and is going to cover his mouth rather than sneeze.
Nice.
And as Widow enters, I would like to try and sense phenomena.
Go for it.
I'm going to add a drive. Oh, okay. 5.
5. You get a strong sense as these flies are whipping around you, seem to put you off for a moment. Because it's everywhere in this place. This whole place seems to be filled with these flies, but you can feel a slight tug, because currently you're like in the foyer. There'll be a slight tug coming from the stage area through the next few doors.
This way.
She's definitely this way, yes. And Walter at this point is kind of like less tiptoeing it like with the Widow and more headstrong in it to go through a door.
Okay. So you're gonna smack through the double doors, yeah?
Heck yeah.
Can you make me a strike roll on them doors, please?
I have 2 dots and one of them is gilded.
Correct.
So is that a total of 3 dice or a total
2 dice, but one's gilded.
Two dice.
2 dice,
One's
one's gilded. Double 3s.
Okay, well, if you take your gilded one, 3, you get your drive back, so you get to mark a drive back. With the 3s, you smack the doors, they fly open, and then you are flooded with a load of flies into your face and body, and it pushes you back on the floor as more fly through. Can you take a body, please?
Yes.
As they seem to, as much as you're covering your face, these flies, as they hit you, start to almost bite at you, any skin that is showing, and you have a lot of red marks as you fall to the floor.
Walter has like an adrenaline rush from this, which allows him to remove to refresh a drive point.
Okay.
As well.
Cool. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
So yeah, Walter's...
He's sort of like doing this, flinging. He's like, "Get these damn!" No, the damn mask is like where he's covered himself has kind of come down a little bit as well. He's sort of
From CC will quick marching step over and like grab Walter and like yank him out from like the full force of the doorway, like trying to just get him out of the flow of everything that's going on.
Okay. Roll me a move roll as you're going into these flies as well. I will say there's a lot coming through this doorway. This one will be a high stakes.
Okay, I'm gonna burn 2 nerve on this, even though I want lots of nerve, but I want this to succeed. Rolling 4 dice. I will take a 5.
5,
Makes
okay.
success.
You manage to grab Walter and pull away, but as you do, your scarf around your mouth falls for a moment, and you take a couple of flies to the mouth. You manage to spit them out, but can you also take a body as you get bitten on the inside of the mouth a few times?
Ah, god damn, this right.
Thank you, CC. Thank you.
Move out of. Oh, god damn, right in there on my tongue. When something like that happens, sir, you move, alright? You get out of the way. You don't just stand when bullets are flying. You said you saw action, right?
Yeah, but not tiny fly action.
I mean, what the hell's a bullet? A bullet is tiny, it hits you, you're gonna die, right? So, move out the way. Is that the way that the dance studio likely is, where all those flies came through?
More than likely. So the way you would know, there's probably some rooms off to the side that would lead round to the backstage, but probably through the stage as well would lead to backstage and out to the dance rooms out back. So, but at the moment that doorway there's almost a wall of flies there.
Is there a way to just like distract the flies to get them away from the door?
You can certainly try.
What about your chemicals?
Well, yeah. Like I
With
can.
some paint and some bleach?
No
Oh,
one carrying
so
just
wait.
stake
The
in their gear.
the fly spray that the widow has.
Mm-hmm.
I can mix my sleepy time water with it and spray it over the flies.
We could use
Let's see if
fire. Just a small amount of fire.
No.
We could
No.
use
No,
fire.
no,
Fire is
no.
It's not.
Let's
tiny-
not do that. No. We don't.
Well, the sleepy time.
Sugar. We don't play with fire, all right?
Let's not burn down the newly renovated theatre tonight.
But the sleepy time drug that I have, and I mix it with the
Oh, that's fine.
spray, with the fly spray.
Yep.
And then we just like spray the wall of flies until they're all gone.
Okay, roll me a strike roll on the flies with the spray.
Okay, I have 2 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. But let's take some of the flies when they're asleep.
All right, we can take some of the flies when they're asleep. Use that empty bottle of crap holy water, whatever Walter has.
It's a
He
full
re-
bottle
he re-
now.
He refilled it with water.
I
Yeah,
have
drink
a
it.
purse. Just drink the water.
I got a 6.
You got 6. So you go at the flies. It's like a wall of flies with spray, and very quickly, mixed with your chemical, these flies start to drop. And it's now there's still flies in the doorway, but probably about the same amount that's everywhere else in this room. So definitely walk throughable, and there are a lot of flies that are just twitching on the floor.
Do you wanna mark a gear slot, Widow, or I can do it if you want?
Oh, as in like.
Get your fly collection.
I can do it. I'll do it. I'll be like, here you go. You want to collect them in the bleed vial? I got one right here for you. So just remember, you got to put the stopper in the top once it's there. Just make sure they're in, and then put the stopper on. All right. So there you go.
It was only once
Pass that
I
over.
held it at the stopper part and the glass vial fell out. So yeah, she'll capture some flies and she'll look after it.
Yeah, I've marked it on my sheet as one of the bits of gear that I had. So you still wear your 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got some flies. Thank you, Cece.
So is the way clear now, or
It's clear
passable
enough.
at least?
It's passable. Yeah, it's not like a wall in front of you now. There are flies going everywhere, but they're about as thick as they are in the room you're standing in.
After you, Miss Free.
Oh yes, sorry, Leonard. I was miles away. Wow.
I stand
Oh, the
behind.
spark of fire has got
Cece.
me riled up. Sorry, what was that? You're standing behind me.
Yeah, I just walk along with you, carrying the remainder of like the fly spray in case like they jump out or something.
I think Cece would still. Cece's a little bit out of her comfort zone at the moment. Like, most of the things that she would use to fight are going to not be effective. So she's kind of like keeps on reaching to her waist at her pocket and like going, "Oh, this is going to be useless. So there's no point in me having this." But very much wants to be ready. But I will lead the way carefully. Is going to be scanning around, looking, trying to pick a path through where there is least. Because I'm guessing there's like these patches where they're like coalescing almost. Going to be trying to like move around those towards the back.
So as you kind of make your way in, you're into the main theatre now, coming from the back door on the ground floor. You're in the main set of seats coming up to the stage. And yes, you're right, there are pockets of these flies, but the main walkway seemed to be okay. And as you kind of make your way into the theatre, you notice that the curtains are drawn, but they're bellowing.
Is it like...
Yeah, the big stage curtains are just moving.
And there's no, like, windows or anything causing, like, a wind or a draft?
Not that you can see.
These clusters, are they clustered around anything in particular?
Make me a focus roll.
Can I add a driver to that
Yeah.
if I need to? Yep.
Yeah. If you're looking as well, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
So yeah, you add your drive and it'd be just Leonard rolling.
Add one anyway. Yeah, 5.
5. So Leonard, I would say with this, you actually go up closer to one than you probably thought you were because of the way they're moving around, and it shifts towards you. You then notice for like a split second there's almost a figure in it, and it disappears.
Sorry, in the
cluster of flies kind of bellows up to like the size of a person, and then you think for a moment you see like a figure in it, and it bursts back into flies.
I take a pause as soon as I see the figure.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see this too?
Yes, I would say you would as well. You watch Leonard as you go up to this, and you notice it happen.
Do I notice anything below it?
No.
Then I will not pursue further, and I will back off.
Okay.
Keeping an eye, but walking backwards, keeping an eye on the shape again.
Maybe not go up to the weird fly group thingies.
Noted.
Yeah. And I keep following Cece.
Okay.
Do you reckon the curtains are moving because of all the flies making it move, or could it be something else?
I don't know. Why don't we ask our wonderful, mysterious guest, the widow?
You hear me okay?
Yeah, you've frozen.
Yeah,
I have frozen, but let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Everything on my computer is frozen.
Oh, fun.
But you can hear me, so let's just keep going.
It's a good pose you're making.
She's been real creepy now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you should do your big picture.
Yeah, nothing's working on my PC.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I'm just she's just a bit static right now. So, I guess the picture again. But is this the stage you said, or are we actually behind the scenes? And
You're in front of the stage. You're in the seating area.
okay,
The stalls.
Stalls, yeah.
the stalls. So we're not in the same place as the picture yet.
No.
Okay, and the curtains were billowing, but that was the fly body.
No, you don't know that yet. The fly body was one of the ones around the seating areas.
Okay.
Yeah, we're approaching the stage with the billowing curtains, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, right. I wasn't sure if that's what Leonard was investigating. Okay. As you said, Colin, we'd be cautious. And she'll give Leonard a little side eye.
The doll gives a side eye.
Yeah, double side eye.
Yeah.
How much of this spray do we still have?
I would say for that wall you probably used about half of it.
Okay. So, if we have another fly wall behind that curtain, we might be able to kill it.
It's a big curtain.
I'm thinking that maybe some of us go stage left and some of us go stage right. Go round the outside of the curtain rather than through it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm armed, and I guess we should split those who are
That's what I was-
armed and those who
That's what I was
aren't.
gonna say.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe the ladies need to stay back a bit. Except for you, CC, you're armed, so.
Well, I can
Think
go
I'm
with the
not
widow.
armed.
Are you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, considering we're about to potentially get killed, yes, it would be very nice to know if you can defend yourself.
I can defend myself. I do not need your big, strong hand to look after me.
Alright. There's a bit of emphasis there on the big strong.
I, however, do. I will stay with you, Mr. Hughes.
Alright, it's fine with me. So, me, Leonard, and CC are going stage left.
Okay.
Oh, I said I would go with the widow. Most people don't want to go with them, so
I don't mind the widow.
I would go with the widow if necessary.
Okay, so who's
Alright,
going stage
safe
left and
place.
who's going right?
Alright, how about me? Alright, how about Walter goes with CC and the widow? You know,
Yeah,
you
that's what I was thinking.
You being such a, big military soldier boy, I think.
Like, if Leonard and Evelyn are kind of also worried about the widow, and then they're immediately like, "Oh, we're going to split up," and they immediately go to Colin's side. It's like, "Oh, you're with me then."
I'm not worried about the widow. Widow's gonna be fine.
It's us who are in danger.
All right,
Alright,
we'll
then.
go
Alright, then,
stage left.
Yeah,
If
then
that
me,
makes
Leonard,
sense.
and
Okay.
Evelyn will go stage right.
Okay, so what's your plan? Just to go and see what's going on, or are you going in armed?
Walter's gonna be locked and loaded, ready to go.
Okay.
Turn that corner and he's ready to point at it.
I give the hammer to Leonard, and I pull out of my coat a really menacing knife.
Okay.
And I look
Knife?
to Evelyn. Oh, sorry.
Carry on.
I was just gonna say, and I look to Evelyn, and I'm like, well, whatever you got. better bring it out now.
Overcompensating with that knife, are we? Lead on.
What is this meant to do against flies?
I don't know. Smash him. I give Evelyn I gave Cece the can of like sleepy spray.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll
Yeah.
take that then.
so that was the other thing. I gave Cece that one
Mm-hmm.
since she has the widow,
Mm-hmm.
and on my side I got the knife, the hammer, and I still have like the satchel of paint and stuff. So I'm kind of like knife on one hand, holding the satchel on the other,
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
dealing with a honorary woman.
So you make your way to either side of the of the back of the theatre, and you kind of come through the side curtains, and you see what's been hitting the curtain is two masses of flies that keep pushing and pushing against it. And as you kind of approach, they stop pushing against it, and although they're spiraling, it feels like they turn to each of you. Each group.
It's two big
Two big sets of flies.
sets of flies. Who's in Team Widow?
Colin, Cece, and you.
No, I'm with
Walter.
Leonard and Evelyn. It's with Team Widow.
Walter-
It's
Walter,
Walter,
Widow, shift,
Cece,
Cece.
and the Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Walter Widow. Okay, just to know who to talk to and who whatever else. Okay. Cece,
Yeah.
It's a lot of flies.
It is.
The only thing I can think of is my fly sticky is quite small. Maybe I need to stick it to something and that can be thrown at them to hold them down before we approach. I'm sure they're going to dart away or attack.
I mean, Colin gave me this fly spray as well, so I mean I could still be using that a little bit.
Oh, excellent. I was just going to do a survey to see if I can find anything around that would be like a plank of wood or a bat or just something that's
Sure
of a
thing.
size that could have
Roll
a
me-
strip of
Roll me a survey.
oof, 3.
3. There is nothing around that you can attach that to that would be useful.
Right, I'll probably say gesturing towards Walter because she still hasn't said your name yet. So if you see anything that would be useful around here, let me know. I might be able to put some of this red sticky on it, and then she'll just follow.
Okay. Walter's gonna. You say that there's like two main.
Two
fly-like
large, very much like what we saw outside what Leonard saw, was these groups of flies. There's two much larger groups of flies.
Okay.
And is
Well-
one, when you said they turned, did one turn to the people on stage left and one turn to the people on
Yeah,
stage right?
it's like they didn't really turn, but there's that feeling that they did because they're all
Yeah.
spiraling. So yes, they kind of you have that thing that they've noticed your presence.
You know when you're watching a production,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than reveal the curtains, they let them drop
Yeah.
to the stage. I don't know how theatres work. I want to see if I can find a mechanism that might do that.
It would
That
be
releases the
sandbags.
Sandbags.
There you go, that one.
Okay.
Can I
Where
try
would the
and find?
cords, where would the cords be in lieu of where the flies are?
They would be
the-
staged at the side.
So be where you are.
The attempt would
So-
be to, if the curtains dropped, they would disperse the flies.
So the curtains are
extent.
already down. Because that's why they've been bellowing
You said
against
they
them.
were closed 'cause they were billowing, right?
They were
But you
being
said-
pushed
yeah.
against, so they were down and they were being pushed against from the other side.
So what I think
Oh,
Leonard
okay.
wants to do is cut the curtain so it falls
Okay, yeah.
permanently,
On the
rather than
side.
It's like a quick reveal
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like a new scene or whatever. Like sometimes they have them
Sure.
rather than the slow pull back or pull
Yeah, yeah.
up. It thump.
Yeah, you can do that.
Isn't it the other way around that if the curtains are down, is the sandbag in the air, and it's when the sandbag is brought down, the curtains go up? Okay, no.
Yeah, it would be a
anyway,
separate mechanism, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be 2 sets of sandbags. One to open, one to close.
Oh, that's how it works. Oh, okay.
Could change the track that the rails on, so obviously stage curtains are weighted at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So if we found the pulley, we could shift the track back, so
Okay.
it pulls it back stage, the back of the stage, and then if we cut it, it would then drop in like an arc
Okay.
and trap the flies on the stage. Hopefully.
Okay.
Leonard says all that out loud
Nice.
as we discuss. In
Does
character.
Does the other party hear?
There'd be
well,
a
we're across the stage from you, so if he shouts,
Yeah.
we'll be able to hear.
Okay, so you're shouting it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I
So
just
we're
call, I
looking
call
for-
across and say, "Wait a moment." Go and start looking.
Roll
for-
me a survey roll.
Do we need to do one on each side?
Yeah, go for
That's
it.
what I wondered.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm quite good at surveying. If you want.
I also have it. I also want to do a survey roll. If that's okay.
Let's do a
we all-
group survey roll. Someone who's got the highest can go, and then you can all give a drive.
I've got 2.
have 2 and
Okay.
one of them would be gilded.
Same.
I have one.
Okay, I'll give you a drive. Can we
Well,
both?
how about-
both?
I have two. I have one drive left.
Okay. So no, only one
Okay.
for group rolls. It's one person rolls, but you give a drive. And support.
Okay, I'll give it a drive.
Can
So are we
multiple
doing a
people
group
drive?
roll on each side?
Yes, multiple people can give a drive, up to 6.
Cool, so we'll give one each
Yeah.
to Evelyn.
So wait,
And
hold
I'll
on.
get
Are we doing
four.
two survey rolls, or we're doing one survey
One
roll
survey
with
roll.
burning drive?
Burning drives. How many drives are you burning with it?
I can burn a drive to help.
Okay.
love dice.
I'll burn a
I'm
drive.
burning a drive. I'm burning a drive
Oh.
too.
Okay, so that's 4 plus your 2. That's your maximum pool die of 6.
Okay, well, I've only got 4, so it's going to have to be rolling.
Roll again. Yeah, that's fine.
And one of mine's gilded as well, so.
Yep.
I got a 6.
Okay, if you get another 6, you get a crit success.
Second one's a 5.
Okay.
Highest.
That's fine. So with your 6, you manage to kind of together move to do Leonard's plan and manage to hoist the curtain back on the rails and then drop it, which is just in the nick of time because as you started to move quite abruptly both sides, the flies started to come towards you and then the curtains land over the top of them. There's now 2 just kind of lumps in this flat curtain that are moving.
Well,
Is there any chance that they could get out?
It's quite a heavy thing at the moment, but they're strong enough to be able to make lumps. So with enough time, maybe.
Walter's going to sort of beeline it to one of the lumps and just sort of jump to sort of like pin it down underneath on top of the curtain.
Yeah, okay.
He's not going under the curtain.
Okay.
Onto the curtain.
Roll me a strike roll.
One of that is gilded, and I will use 2 nerve. I burn 2 nerve to bring me up to 4 with 1 gilded.
Okay.
5 is gilded and a normal 5.
Okay.
So
So with the 5, it's not a crit with 2 of the. It has to be 2 6s to crit.
I thought it was 2 of the same number. Which I also forgot about because I did get 2 3s earlier though.
Are you thinking of dagger heart?
No,
Yeah.
it's 2 6s.
Yeah, it's 2 6s. That's
2
what-
6s is the only way to crit.
Yeah.
oh,
So yeah, you go a 5. You can take the gilded, which gives you a drive back. And then yes, so you jump on this thing, and it's quite strong. You're on it, and it's almost like you're on a rodeo thing. You're kind of being thrown about and trying to hold on for dear life at the moment. It's probably not one of the best of ideas, but you're okay at the moment. But it's making it angry.
quick! Someone need to grab the other one, or I don't know. You know, he's going for the holy water. He's going holy water. He's
Okay.
going water, and he is taking one hand off, and he's just emptying the vial on top of the curtain.
Okay. Roll me. I would say a control for this one.
Okay, he's gonna do exactly the same again. So there's 2 in that. One's gilded. Gonna burn another 2 for that.
It's still just watered, right?
Yeah,
now?
it's just water. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, there's essence.
Delusional.
There is essence of holy.
Let him believe. Let him believe.
Right, this is 4 dice. 5 and a 6. Neither
Okay.
of the 5 or 6 is gilded.
That's fine. So if you're taking the 6, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pour this holy water on it, and in that area of the wetness, the flies seem to die down a bit. But then they start to shift up again, but around it, but you've made this area of wet where they don't seem to be doing as much.
It's the water! I told you it's the damn water! That's the holy water! They're avoiding! They're avoiding! People get buckets! Get buckets of the holy water!
That seems a bit of a stretch, darling. How about we just sandbag the perimeter? There's a few lying around. Might be-
I would say at this point, while Walter's on this one lump, the other lump is slowly moving to the side.
Quickly now, let's move. Let's
Quickly,
move.
quickly.
Yeah.
Evelyn hoists up her sandbag and chucks it on the corner of the curtain.
Okay.
Make sure you don't break the nail.
Roll me a move roll.
Got 1. suppose if you have one, it's just one die, yeah?
If it's one, it's one die, yeah.
One is one die. Pick this up. 5.
5. So you manage to knock a sandbag in that corner, but the flies then begin to move towards the other corner.
I run and put a sandbag on that corner.
Okay, roll me another move.
I have 2.
Yeah, go for it. 2 dice.
2 6s.
2 6s. Critical success. You manage to get it on there enough that it seems to be stuck within underneath this now.
Come. Let's move.
I think this is still just... It's not it, but it's part of it.
Let's
We need
find the dance studio.
Yeah, we gotta find those mirrors.
Alright.
Are they
Yes.
contained?
Are they contained?
Apart from Walter riding one like a rodeo at the moment, technically if he stays there, they're contained.
Oh, right. Okay, we need to
Alright.
contain the other lot.
Alright, can Colin walk over with a sandbag and drop it on the lump?
I would say yes, with your double 6s you can secure both.
Alright, I do this really epic move where I have a sandbag in each hand. I throw one in one corner. It lands perfectly. I throw the other one in the other corner. Knocks Walter clean off the lump onto his ass and lands on the flies. And I'm just like, and that's how you do it.
Nice.
Ah,
can't-
they were nicely pinned down. Good work there, Colin.
I can't pick locks, but I can throw sandbags.
Brilliant.
Brute strength.
That's what we needed.
But can you
Big
wrestle?
hands. Big hands, Evelyn.
Shake the
Okay.
head.
So you head
what?
into the dance studio, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got to find it, right?
So you kind of make your way, you've come into the side of the stage, you make your way back out and you get to the studio, the back of the studio. So you do pass some of the like dressing rooms, but there are signs that lead towards dance studio on your way back there.
I'll be behind Mr. Hughes.
I will be behind Evelyn.
Oh, I'm leading the charge, am I?
Oh,
Where are
You
we?
are the most dangerous one in this entire group.
I know, aren't I, Just?
Okay.
well, I'm more than happy to be running straight into danger. Firearm ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, just like you were completely ready to take on that lump of flies.
Me, Walter, 1, flies 0. Just like the 1953 World Cup.
Nice.
The dance studio's over here, y'all. Alright.
That's full of CC. That's full of CC.
Finger off the trigger. Like, keep it calm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll approach where the dance studio is. Is there a door?
There is a door.
open?
There is a door. There's a window into the dance studio as well, and you can see the entire room, at least the back end of it, is mirrored walls. And
How many flies are in this?
so that's what I was about to
Space.
say. So as you kind of look through and look at the mirrors, in the reflections of the mirrors, you see there is a figure stood in the middle with flies flying all around it.
And
Alright,
we still
well-
have half that can of fly spray, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't use it.
Do we want to use it now?
Well, if we go in, there's only one doorway. But
And that there's a room full of rooms, or this whole room is full of mirrors. We got to cover
Yeah.
the mirrors before the flies escape.
just if we block. So the thing that Cece was suggesting earlier is she's maybe moving through the mirrors. At which point, if we block off some of the mirrors, then she's got less places to basically jump out all over the place from us, because it's going to be very likely that she could get anywhere. So if we can make it so that there's only one corridor, then it makes it easier on us and less dangerous.
Is this I assume, dance studio, mirrors floor to ceiling?
Yeah, floor to ceiling dance studio. The only thing that's in the middle is a bar, which would be for dancers. But yes, other than that.
There's mirrors on the ceiling?
Not on the floor to ceiling, not on the ceiling.
Oh. Sorry. I was like,
The floor is a mirror as well. It's just everything's a mirror. We're looking through a two-way mirror into the studio. That is actually a good point. Actually, that probably is a two-way mirror, isn't it? I was going to say smash it, but it's probably a mirror. And there's only one way in, right?
There's this door.
Yeah.
And this is a human-like figure.
It's very similar to the one that you saw, Walter, that was lying there.
Right. When Walter is coming to eye contact, or he's seeing this thing, he's going, Walter Hessington Jr., MI5, hands up!
Right. No. Just right. God damn it. Right. Harlan, you start covering the mirrors. Anyone else help with the mirrors? I'm going to go straight for that figure, and I'm going to spray it full of bug spray, alright?
Okay.
alright, does Leonard and Evelyn want to help me start painting and covering the mirrors? 'Cause, again, I brought several cans.
First of all, are there mirrors on every wall?
So pretty much there's the doorway is like, if you think of it as like a rectangle room, the bottom right of the room is the doorway in. There are mirrors straight ahead of you all the way up and all the way back to the door. There isn't any on the wall to your left as you walk in though. It's just those three.
So, my thinking is, if we look through the camera, have the wall that doesn't have mirrors behind the person, and paint the mirrors that we can see in the photo.
Yep.
Then we don't have to paint 3 walls of mirrors. We could just paint a small section and take a photo, trap her in the photo against the wall that has no mirrors. That make sense to everyone?
Vaguely.
I mean,
Is there any chance that these flies are going to attack?
Oh,
If we move?
100%.
Well, if we
Like
go
going
around the
in, CC is going in, basically assuming that trying to get attention on her, get them to attack her, whilst you guys deal with the plan. I guess
Walter's
I'll
already
hand out
in
the
there, right?
cameras. No, I was stopping Walter from going in. He was saying that through the glass. There's a door and then the glass.
Was he?
It's like,
Were
Was
you,
he?
Walter?
Straight through the door. Straight through that door.
oh god, he's going through the
Hell
door.
yeah.
Alright, let's go. Right, camera. Right. What are you? Fucking mages sometimes, I swear. Right. CC will run in with a can of spray and I will try and take a shot. I have a
Okay.
question though, DM.
Yep.
Can I use my ability sharpshooter, which is when I want to make a ranged attack with a weapon?
I wouldn't say this spray is ranged. Otherwise, yeah. But
it's
so-
got that range though.
I love it. Grenades.
you could lob it, but that might not have the same effect. You can run in.
Wait,
It will
wait.
be. Oh, go on.
The sprays have like those little like tubes and stuff that make it to where it's a sharpshooter instead of
A
spray.
little further. That much isn't sharpshooter, sadly.
4 inches.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What? No.
Do you have one of those pumps
Yeah.
that you had to use? You put the can in it, you pump it. Did you pick up
You
one of
mean a
those,
su-
Widow?
You mean a super soaker?
Yeah.
No, you used to get them.
Yeah. The
Be
old
how bug
fashioned.
sprays were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old-fashioned bug
So
spray.
we
Oh, yeah,
can
yeah,
put in- yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
No,
pump
sadly
there as
not.
well.
But it will be a high stakes roll, and it will be a strike roll.
Okay, well, I'm fairly decent at strike. I don't know if anyone else is well, you guys are doing your shit, so I will leave you to it. I will burn a drive on this, I feel. Seems like a good idea. Walter, are you assisting?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll stand beside with and burn a drive as well to chuck you another dice.
Okay.
Just holding up his badge.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Badge in one hand, gun in the other.
Just as a rules thing, don't you have to define how you're
Yes, you
helping?
kind of do, yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you
Then
helping?
he's standing very
Boys.
close to CC and sort of pointing. Aim a little higher with the spray, the trajectory of the spray. It's like a mortar.
Oh, I was feeling more like he's called more of the attention to him, and then Cece's like 45-degree angle blind spot on a bunch of flies. But if someone was looking, trying to be in the blind spot, and utilizing the distraction that Walter's providing of just
Scream at
standing
it. Yeah.
brazenly trying to arrest.
I will
a bunch
take
of flies.
screaming MI5 freeze as a distraction. That's fine.
All right. Roll in 2 sixes.
2 6s. So you run in and the main fly lady, as you kind of go at her with the fly spray, kind of shrieks and goes backwards towards the mirror behind her. But she's incapacitated enough for the rest of you to get in. Can you roll a group roll, move roll for getting these painted, please?
I was gonna do something
drive.
else as well, but
Okay, what do you want to do with her?
no. Finish what you're saying. I forget how a group roll.
So a
works.
group roll is whoever's got the highest can go, and the rest can give drive.
I've
So
got
you
two.
got 2.
I'll give drive because
Yeah. Okay.
Remind me again.
drive.
Can drive be from any like nerve?
Yes, if you're giving it to
situation?
someone, yes.
Yeah, I'll give a drive, but also it's gonna do something different.
What do you want to do with her while this is happening?
While this was all happening, this only works if this is the case. Is there a window, and is it maybe getting to be daylight?
I would
That's
say
interesting.
no, not in this area. This is like the middle of the theatre, and you're just behind the stage, so there isn't a window in here. It's all just lights.
Okay, she'll just be doing her best not to get too much in the way, and will
Okay,
assist with some paintage then.
sure.
Giving a drive to whoever wants it.
So
Okay, so I have 2 on
2.
move, and I roll 2 dice.
you roll 2 dice, but you've been given a drive by Leonard and a drive by the widow, so that's 2 more dice.
And me.
Okay,
And it's a drive
Okay, so
from
5
Evelyn,
dice.
so 5 dice, yes.
okay.
Come on.
So I got 3 6s,
Nice.
and then 2 3.
all right.
Nice. So you are just like the quickest team. You're just all out with your paint and immediately getting most of the mirrors. The only mirror that seems to be active is the one that's in front of you, CC. She kind of gets back and merges with the mirror for a moment, and then jumps straight back out at you with loads of flies again. Can you make me a move roll, CC?
Yeah.
This is another high stakes.
Good for
What
them,
roll is
although
she doing?
I'm
Move.
moving.
Okay.
I'm basically getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. I rolled a 6.
Okay. You manage to dive out the way as these flies fly right over you, and they make their way to the back wall. And the woman then appears at that back wall, starts screaming at you all again.
We had to take the picture now?
Yeah, let's.
Just everyone
Camera.
taking out their disposable cameras and being all paparazzi on her?
If you want to go for that, yeah. Again, do a I would
Oh
say
shit! We should have held the flash down before we came in. It's got a charge.
it would be a control roll from someone.
Alright, I have 1 on control.
I have 2. I'm quite good at control.
2 and 1's gilded, and I wouldn't mind a little cheeky
you go.
refresh.
Okay, so
Yep.
Walter,
Let's,
you can roll.
let's
You,
assist the newbie.
you're gonna give
Yeah.
a load of give drive if you got it.
I will spend a drive. I will be also attempting to take a picture from a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a
holding the flash down. Oh, I told everyone to hold the flash.
Yeah.
Do the little wine thing.
You know, there's a whole generation of people that don't know what the frick you're on about.
I know, that's why I'm doing it. What's a disposable camera?
This
It's on
isn't
my
for
phone.
them.
Yeah. So how many drive are going to water? You got one from.
One from me.
It says 2.
One from DC.
Okay.
One from me.
I spent both of mine, so I don't have any more.
Okay.
ranks.
No worries.
Okay, so I got magic 4 dice, one's gilded.
Go for it.
6, and it is not the gilded one.
Okay. You managed to take the photo of the fly lady, and again, as if by magic, she disappears. And the flies disappear too.
I got it! I got the photo! I've got a. She's in the
Right.
camera.
Right. Though, this time we don't develop it. We get that to Candela. Okay?
No holy water needed.
Unless he looks at it with a.
No,
sort
no,
of-
no, no. Can I
My
grab the
way.
camera from Colin's hand, please?
Yeah.
Not Colin, sorry, I keep getting mixed up.
I'm like,
Walter's
I don't
hand.
got it. I didn't do it. I'm just painting pretty pictures.
Hey, Widow? I mean, we all took pictures, like, can you just make sure it's in
It's in
the
there.
mages? You're real good at this kind of stuff, so I don't know if we've lost Mel.
I don't know either. I think we've lost you.
We can hear you shouting through
Yeah.
Milky's.
Just have
Okay.
the widow pop in behind the GM.
You can come in here.
Just the widow's good at
Yeah.
bleed
Was that
sensing
good
and
of-
stuff, so
was
it's just
that-
making sure we got
wait,
it going.
okay.
What's up? Hi.
Yeah, I can do a sense on the camera.
Just a face, your
Let's-
hair's been cut out.
Floating head.
Wait, did I just join your
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. Lean into camera.
Let's,
Oh my god.
Just your
Let's-
face, Mal, nothing else.
Nice. So what do you want to do?
Wait, that's just extra spooky.
They can't see you now. There you go, there it is.
I can do a sense
oh
roll.
god!
It's 2 of you. A sense roll for what? What sense are you doing?
On the camera.
Okay, yes, do a sense roll. Go for it.
She's gonna have to run back to the other room.
Yeah,
to roll
she
the
is,
dice and
yeah.
go all the way back.
Yeah,
It's not that far.
no.
This is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
What'd you get?
I got a 6 on a non-gilded.
6 on a non-gilded. You can tell that the one that Walter snapped is the one where there is a lot of bleed.
I think she's in there.
Excellent. This. Right. We should probably get it back to Vespa then. Get it locked away. Evelyn, you want to make it look like ghosts did this or something? I don't know.
Have the mirrors still stayed painted?
Yes, they're most of them are painted.
We can just make it look like a vandalism.
Evelyn wanted to make it look like ghosts. So
I think we need to add a little bit more if we want to sell it as a ghost. Maybe put some like get outs or stuff like that. And she goes and grabs a paintbrush.
Okay. So you
Starts making it more spoopy.
do some finesse and make it all spoopy.
And then
sorry, go on.
And then she takes one of the disposables that doesn't have the thing in and takes some shots to go with her phony article she's going to write.
Okay.
Either way, that was successfully arrested her. Walter is absolutely convinced that this counts as an arrest.
Nice. Okay.
Right, are we done here?
Yeah, I don't
So-
think there's anything else that we need.
Carry on. Candela.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave my satchel of the hammer and paints there.
Okay.
There's nothing else in it.
You go to collect the hammer off of Leonard, you just see him holding it like right up against the head, like just completely the wrong way.
You alright? You feeling alright, mate?
Here you go.
Thanks.
Walks away.
Think he's gonna need a stiff one by the end of this.
Okay, so you all leave the theatre and make your way back to platform 13, where you hand over the camera, and it is put away. Something, Walter, you notice in this place when Vesper gets hold of the camera, the one thing she does is wander up to one of the many tiles that are on the wall and pushes it, and it opens like a lockbox, and she slides it in and closes it. And she basically like, well done, we've managed to solve that mystery. We're not too sure on anything else with the dimension shifting that they managed to do, but we got there. We got the main phenomenon, so I guess that's a win.
But what about the whole, I don't know, what Walter said about how he was somewhere? Like he just walked straight into the palace and then was somewhere else.
Yes, this dimension shifty thing you said.
Yes, I will.
Is this camera responsible for that?
I have no idea. We need to have Candela here take a look and see what's going on there.
I have some flies as well from Cece's vial. Here you go.
And Vesper just gestures to let you put them on the table. She just want to go near you to take them. Okay. Well, with that, that'll be the end of this session. Well done. Circle of Sovereign in silence. What we can do is make sure we quickly go through your main your circle sheet and who has done what. Let me double check.
How strict are we on doing our illumination keys?
If you feel you've done it, you
Okay.
should tick it off.
Can me knocking out the photography dude be standing up to authority?
You were being kicked out, so yes, I'll allow that.
I would like to count one of the many times that Walter stupidly charged headfirst into something to count as the illumination mark, run into danger.
Oh yeah, you jumping on the flies especially, yeah.
Oh, you have a different illumination mark to me. What?
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're
And
the
then,
same. We're the same class.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You can change them though, can't you? Because I picked
Oh,
one
can
from
you?
a different class.
Okay.
Oh, I just used the ones that were there. It came on the
Yeah.
sheet.
Can I get Hunt down the lead because Jimmy
Yes.
from the
Yes, you can get that one.
Can I make a plan? Because you said the words "a Leonard's plan" at one point. I quote.
Yeah, you
the
came up with
curtain
a plan
thing.
for the curtain thing. Yep, that's
Yeah,
fine.
Great. Sick.
I protected Walter from just standing in the way of the flies. I think is the most obvious one that I
Yeah.
did
Protection.
by
Yeah.
dragging him out of the way.
Yeah.
So
Did you get anything?
I think that's
Okay, so and the widow is sensed. So with that, you get. I'm trying to look at this. So If every player has fulfilled at least one illumination key, you get 4 points.
We fill in 4 circles on the
Yes.
circle.
Yes, on the circle, that's 4. You also contained or
Contained a
destroy
source
a
of the
source of bleed,
bleed.
so that's 1 point. You also you didn't provide comfort or support for those affected, and you didn't bring something of importance. Oh no, sorry, you did bring something that flies back. So yes.
Also,
We brought the flies and the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the support one again?
Provide comfort or support for those affected by the phenomenon.
Now we
didn't
left a
see
guy.
anyone.
We left a
He
guy some
wasn't-
paracetamol.
He wasn't affected by the phenomenon.
No, he
That's-
wasn't.
that's
He was
the key
affected
thing.
by.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fair.
The only other one is, did Walter provide support to the lady who was distressed in the palace?
Not
No.
really. I think he more was trying to get
No,
information
okay.
out of her.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's part of the assignment because that kicks off the assignment, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
that was outside of
That
what
was
we
the
did.
start.
Did you say we get to refresh one burn one drive?
For what? Sorry.
I thought this
Fine.
was just for the circle.
No, this is the illumination. So this is a different sheet.
Yep.
So you've got 4,
So-
and then you've had 2 others.
We got 6.
6.
We got 6 in total then.
Yes.
So we didn't level up.
So you haven't leveled up this time.
Who is keeping track of the circle sheet?
I've filled in a circle sheet, so I mean I can keep track of it.
Yeah, you
if
do that.
necessary.
Okay. Well, there you are.
Candela Obscura resources. So we're now between assignments, right? So
Yes.
each player can spend up to 2 resources of their choosing, and when they're used, we only erase the top section, but we don't get these back
Mhm.
over the next 3 sessions. So there's Stitch, Refresh, Train. So Stitch is you can heal a body mark, I think, from
Mhm.
memory. Refresh is you gain some amount of drive back.
I think it. I
And
think
Train
it's.
is you get another dice.
I think it's clear. Ooh,
I think you clear
marks.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, little marks.
You clear all
it
marks
all
in a
marks in
section.
one
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, in a section. And what about Refresh?
You get all your drives back in.
Yeah.
A section.
Let me just double check.
I would quite like to take a refresh if that's the case.
You have 7 in each to use.
Yeah.
But we don't get these back.
No.
No, I used 4 nerve, and I quite need nerve to be on top of things. So ideally, I would like to get that back. But if we don't want to burn it now, I'm fine with not burning it now.
I think if you can get a full refresh from something, you should take it because that's beneficial.
Oh, that's not full.
If you've got...
But
Well, if you burnt 4, that's probably worth it, right?
I burnt 4 of 6 in nerve, but both
Okay.
my abilities require nerve, so
I spend a little bit, but I don't need anything.
Okay. So 1 nerve being, not 1 nerve, 1 refresh.
I'll take a refresh then and refill all my nerve.
Okay. The other one is train.
Which adds a dice,
Yes.
or adds a circle to one of the points.
Mm-hmm. So you can up one of your abilities with train by 1 circle.
Is that
if you
for
want.
everyone or just for one person?
1 person.
One person.
So you got 7 between you, which you can use, but they don't refresh. But if there's something particularly you're like, I used that a lot, I'd probably end up using that a lot again. It's good to train in.
I probably could do training in sway. I don't have anything in sway. If I could have one in that would be good.
Anyone else?
I could use one in sway as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it. So that's 2.
I have lots of. I've got nothings, but I didn't really use them, so I'm alright not training at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So 2 training done. You gain a dot in your sways. Okay.
Do, 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 do.
And that's it for this session. So thank you everyone for playing. Hope that was fun.
Thank you, Milky.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I need to finish writing session 2, which will be happening on the 15th of February at the same time, same place.